Chris, I can't believe the conversation I just walked in on with Greg Cody. He's here on time today, and I just heard him complaining, no lie. Your father, who I'm pretty sure from the look of him, hasn't showered this morning. It's rare to see someone in here who looks like they may not have showered this morning.
Wow, why do you say that? I'm just curious.
Well, did you? Because there's something. Do I have this wrong? I don't often feel that I ever come in here, even though people come in with sweats and whatnot. You felt like a disheveled old man this morning. And when I walked in here, an unbathed, disheveled old man.
Unbathed.
Your father was legitimately complaining about your mother once gifting him a Corvette.
Isn't that your 40th?
I'm not sure.
You were
35,
complaining
40?
about it. You were complaining about getting the gift of a Corvette for your birthday from your wife, a man who has not showered.
Okay, let me take these in order. Okay, I'm going to admit, see, I'm an honest man to a fault. Others don't admit this, but I do. I don't shower every day. Okay, sometimes, occasionally, I skip a day. I took a shower last night before going to the Panthers game. So it has been less than 20 hours since I showered. I decided
the Panthers battered you.
I decided to sleep in an extra half hour today. I'm sorry.
You've been late lately.
Late lately.
The Panthers ransacked you last night, and you came in smelling like hungover from 2 defending titles. You're a journalist, but you're on the fringes of something South Florida has never seen, and you don't have time to shower.
Yeah.
And you were
that's right.
complaining about your wife getting you a Corvette.
Well, the thing, this needs explanation because I'm going to hear about this from her later. Okay, the conversation was about colors of cars that we like and don't like. And I was like, if you're driving a bright yellow car, you're like, wow, you're trying to make a statement that nobody wants to hear and nobody likes. I don't particularly like a white car. It shows dirt. I just don't like a white car. As a surprise for a birthday of mine years ago, my wife gifts me with a brand new Corvette in the driveway. And
an amazing gift.
It's an amazing gift. And I was thrilled. I kept it a few years until I traded it in because it was a lease, I believe. But I don't like a white car. So what do you do in that case? You act thrilled at first, but eventually you got to say...
You complain about it 30 years later.
I mean, eventually you got to say, so honey... Not that I ever call her honey. Was white like the only color they had? Or
should we ask her? I think this should be legislated on air. I do, because I can't believe you're complaining about this. She would find it offensive, right? It's a great gift.
I'm only complaining about it because the color of cars came up in a conversation, and that's what made me think of it. That kind of thing. I mean, like I say, I'm honest to a fault.
What year was this?
This would have been probably 30 years ago.
Did she like the white car?
I don't know the origin. A friend of hers, a friend of ours, helped her pick it up and actually drove it into the driveway. And I don't know how it went or whether they had a choice of other colors and settled on a white car. But never would I pick a white car of my own volition.
It's a perfect crime for her, I'll admit, I've done this. Sometimes you get for like a spouse or whoever, a friend, family member, a gift that maybe you like. And then if they don't necessarily like it, well, it's kind of one that I like. So this works.
Right.
I'm sure maybe she was thinking, Greg's going to hate this white car. The result of this will be I will now have a white Corvette.
Oh, my wife has not been in any of my Corvettes. She hates the car. She thinks it's too low to the ground. She says it's like getting in an adult go-kart. I literally can't get her to drive in my car. Never have. But the white car, am I alone in this? I just don't like a white car. It's better than the brown car.
You didn't like the gift from your wife. I want to get her lean on. Maybe we'll have some other things to talk about, too.
You're changing on the fly. Hit checks, head tricks are gonna make them cheer. Got the bomb turn to chirping riding high. Now it's time for action. Tonight's gonna burn this bar right up. Slap shot will right the left so nice. Let's go for a breakaway on the chase to raise the cup. We'll be standing on our heads till we meet them at center ice. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack, baby, and we'll meet you at center ice.
Because hockey winning is such a common thing down here that yesterday I'm looking up at the television and they're asking, Mike Greenberg is asking Gary Bettman, hey, is the Panthers dynasty good for hockey? And I feel like it's a fever dream to have them get their rings, celebrate another emotional night at 5 o'clock with an early game beating Chicago as everyone gets to be drunk all over again. To have that be the way the season starts, and also this part is the biggest part that's my favorite part of it. Have the Panthers still as the betting favorite in that league because the respect is so great that they could lose their two best players for the whole season and the money still rides on, nah, those guys are better and deeper than everyone else and McDavid's not good enough to topple them. And I know it's one game and I know it's Chicago, but the fact that the money's coming in on the Panthers still is the favorite with Toronto, that the money would go around there.
Carolina's a favorite, but Carolina's been the betting favorite in the Eastern Conference a handful of times over this entire run.
Okay, good luck, Carolina, with your history with this franchise, being the team that has the tough metal to be more hockey than that team.
I do think it's a little bit of an exaggeration to say they're still the favorite in general.
I'm just saying betting, in terms of betting money, depending on the sports book you check with, and the only one you should be checking with is DraftKings, the Panthers are still being bet upon as if their top two players aren't hurt. The way the money is respecting the championship is at the highest end of, no, we understand hockey, and we still think this thing might be deep enough because all those guys took discounts.
They're one of the favorites. You can obviously get them at a value right now. I don't think in recorded hockey history a team could lose its two best players and be positioned where they are right now. But still, if you look at the title odds, it is pretty nuts that a three-time finalist, back-to-back reigning champion is kind of considered a dark horse to win its third cup right now. There's a lot of value there, and the smart bettors are seeing that. It's crazy. Barkov got his ring, and he put his crutches aside. The guy had surgery 2 weeks ago. He was on the bench yesterday next to Matthew Tkachuk as the banner was going up. No crutches in sight. He's going to do this thing that he told Eric Spoelstra he's going to do.
He's going to try and come back in 5 months or 6 months.
European doctors, man.
All right, so I want to talk about that, but I was genuinely and legitimately excited by the baseball last night because this is such the rarest of swings, okay? The New York Yankees had allowed more runs in 2 games than any team in baseball history. They got this weird dynamic where Boone is in trouble every inning, but the GM of the team is golden for 25 years and doesn't matter if he ever wins again. He's a cash man, and it doesn't matter. They're all middle management on the field. They get all the contracts. Stanton's in the middle of their lineup, and they don't hit home runs in the postseason. And it goes flat in the postseason. Same way it does for Philadelphia with Harper and Schwartz, because you need your biggest bats to do the biggest things. And Judge was hitting 500 in the series. Like, oh, not enough. It can't be singles and doubles, Judge. You got to hit a big one. So they go down 6-2. They go down 6-1. No, 6-2. And then all of a sudden, they feel like their season's over. Jazz Chisholm is yawning, giant yawns on the field. That was going to be the tabloid photo, was going to be Jazz Chisholm, giant yawn, Yankees don't care. The Blue Jays clubbed their heads in. Never in the history of the sport have the first 2 games like that. The Blue Jays scored 20 unanswered.
He's bored, he looks.
The Blue Jays scored 20 unanswered. You got Aaron Judge, he's hitting 500. Again, manager's always in trouble. GM's never in trouble. They didn't have an arm at the start of that game. Vladimir Guerrero hates the Yankees like his daddy did because it's on principle.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. now is the second player in MLB history with a homer and multiple RBIs in each of his first 3 games of a postseason. The other was Hank Aaron in 1969. He's been ridiculous.
Oh, but so Aaron Judge, though, it is so funny and great, the position that Aaron Judge is in. because he's hitting 500 in the series. He's 2 for 2 in the game, and they're like, oh, where are the homers, Judge? It doesn't work unless you hit the 3-run homers.
I didn't like that. I saw people saying that was his moment. He finally had his moment. I don't know about that.
You got to win the series.
Well, I mean, first of all, it was to tie the game, first of all. It was a foot away from being foul. He almost, hooked that one, which we're not going to hold that against him. Obviously, it was still a 3-run homer to get them back in a game where they were trailing a lot. But again, you just tied it, and then Jazz gave them the lead. That picture that we're showing right now on video is cool. All I can do is look at Marlins man.
Yes.
And the fact that he has that giant orange jersey on and he has his visor on sideways.
So bad.
Which is just like...
Is that a rally cap, maybe?
Well, I mean, I can't believe that we're honestly still here when this started, in like 2000 and... What year was it even? 2000.
He's let himself go. The last embers of fame that he has as the most famous fan South Florida has ever had.
So at one point he was together for you.
When he was grabbing at fame and getting these tickets, using his riches the way every sports playboy would to get himself mascot fame, just be famous on television. The fact that, pan back on that photo for a second, it makes me mad and delighted that that's what Billy noticed. Look at the picture. No, you guys look at the picture. He knows what he's done.
No, but it's a sideways hat for me because you can even see, if you zoom in, he has, the entradas because it's a visor that he's wearing, so you can see his hairline on the thing. It's, weird, and I honestly can't believe that we're still here when this started with the Giants, first World Series or second World Series, almost 20 years ago at this point, or 15 years ago, whatever it was. But I mean, your defining moment in your career cannot be in the ALDS to tie a game that merely keeps you alive.
Not if you're going to be Jeter.
That's what I'm saying. There's already a Mr. October. What is? We're not vying for Mr. First Week of October here. We need to have larger moments, a cool moment nonetheless, but we need larger moments in Yankee lore if that's what we're looking for.
You're
here.
crushing him if he strikes out last night in that at bat.
Oh, dude, if he pulls that, I'm telling you, if he pulls that 1 foot over and it's a foul ball, and the next one is simply a line drive up the middle, no one's gonna be oh, Aaron Judge did it again.
You realize we're criticizing the AL most valuable player who's batting 500 in the postseason.
Yes.
That's what we're doing right now.
Yes, because he did it in the wrong series.
Okay.
ALDS.
Right, just getting that.
And he merely tied the game. Where's the praise for Jazz?
Put it on the poll. Does Aaron Judge need to hit home runs in the next series during this series?
Well, if he gets to that series.
No. I say right now, the pressure on Judge needs to be this. Does Aaron Judge need to hit home runs in the next series during this series?
You know what Reggie and you know what the captain would have been doing? And that's a whole nother thing. Calling Aaron Judge the captain is such disrespect to Mr. Jeter, who I've had my disagreements with over the years, and we're not necessarily aligned in thought on certain things, but Derek Jeter's the captain, okay? I can see past my hatred towards him and what he did to my franchise. Derek Jeter's the captain, so we're not going to refer to Aaron Judge as the captain. That's absurd. But you know what, Mr. October, you know what the captain, Mr. November, would have done yesterday? You know what they would have done yesterday? I
don't.
What?
They would have ended the series because they wouldn't have gone down 2 games to the Blue Jays. Yesterday would have been a series clinching game for them. That's what would have happened.
Okay, so
the Blue Jays are running amok on the Yankees because Aaron Judge hasn't done enough.
Okay, Billy, I want to get this straight. So nobody but Jeter can be the captain. So is Aaron Judge
and Adnan?
Is Aaron Judge's title the lieutenant? What are we calling all future Yankee captains?
It's a great question. I mean, I've been doing some thinking on this front because I noticed also, and I've done a little bit of research on the University of Colorado's football program because I remember last year there were some guys running around with some D's on their uniforms because they were dogs. And I don't know that leaders and dogs have carried over to this present Colorado team. I was looking it up. I was saying, who's the D on this Colorado team now? Who's the L on this Colorado team now? And I was struggling to find it. I'm not saying that they're not there, but when I looked, I couldn't find the L's and the D's on this year's Colorado football team. So I think what you're going to have to do, kind of like Colorado did, is maybe you retire the C. I think what you do next to Jeter in Monument Park out there where they retired all the numbers, you retire the letter C also for captain. And then maybe you name someone else. Can't be commander because that's also a C, and we retired the C. We're going to have to find some other words. Admiral isn't bad, Greg.
Aaron Judge now has 6 home runs when facing elimination, tying David Ortiz for the most in postseason history.
Yeah, correct. But again, Mr. October, Mr. November never faced elimination. So I would say the fact that he's even in that position is really a sign of his lack of leadership ability.
So David
allowing
Ortiz, do you
his
feel the same
team-
way about David Ortiz, who is the guy he tied?
David
because
Ortiz is-
famously he was down 3-0 to those Yankees in the ALCS and then came back for one of the most
Well, he
iconic
didn't-
moments
no,
ever.
no, he didn't come back. Dave Roberts, who again
Oh,
I also
okay.
don't like, is the reason that they came back in that series with that stolen base. Dave Roberts, me and him also have issues, but that's fine. We're looking past that.
Do you
This
care that
isn't-
the Blue Jays were 39-0 this year when they led by 5 or more runs until last night? Do you care at all?
I don't.
In baseball history, that game never happens. The Yankees were finished, and Aaron Judge tied the game with a 3-run
They're the
homer.
first team ever, literally per OptiStats, first team in MLB postseason history to be down by 5+ runs, in danger of being swept,
the
and come
thing,
back
but
to
here-
win the game.
here's the
Jeter's never
problem.
been down by 5 runs.
See, he's so right.
Thank you.
This is the evolution of the Jeter argument, Billy. You are doing this magically right now because it is correct. Unless Aaron Judge hits 3 home runs in a World Series game in Game 4 against the Blue Jays, in the elimination game against the Blue Jays today, he's got to hit 3 home runs in the World Series to be Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, who's not the captain. The captain forevermore is Derek Jeter. Aaron Judge can hit 900 in this series with all triples. And if he does not hit 3 home runs in the World Series during this series to make them advance, Aaron Judge will have failed, and the MVP will go to Seattle, which advances past the Yankees, chokers in October.
That's correct. And 2 of those 3 home runs have to be grand slams. And he should invent the 5-run homer, Aaron Judge, because if he doesn't do something like that to really stand out, really what's his legacy?
There is a legitimate and pretty easy argument to be made that was the most impressive piece of hitting.
Oh, come on.
In baseball history.
Oh, shut
Oh, that pitch
This
was
season.
listen, guys.
Just
That
hear
pitch
me
was
out.
that pitch was
Oh,
so
shush it.
inside.
All right.
Nobody hits that pitch that way.
Can I give you the statistics here?
Yeah, but you're
this
wasting your
season,
breath.
there have been 528 pitches on 0-2 counts out of the zone at 99 miles an hour or above. That's the first home run. And not only that, this pitch was 99.7 miles an hour. It was 1.2 feet inside.
Yeah.
It's the first time in pitch tracking history since 2008, regular season, postseason, that a hitter is homered off a pitch that fast, that inside. Ever.
I mean,
In the history of baseball,
not-
in that spot,
no, not
to
ever.
tie the game.
Not ever. Ever since 2008. We're missing about 108 years
Yeah, really.
plus of history before that you
That's-
weren't just
yeah.
tracking. That's not
Because a ton of
ever.
guys were throwing 99 miles
Listen,
an hour.
Listen to me, Jeremy. I'm going to give you a quick quiz here. Remember last year when you said Pete Alonso hit the biggest home run in the history of baseball?
In the history of the Mets.
And it was a week after you said someone else hit the biggest home run in the history of the Mets. Who was that someone else? And what was that scenario?
It's a really great question. All I know is that this, in terms of being a piece of hitting, that pitch in that spot to hit that home run, the call from Joe Davis, if it's fair, it's his moment.
That was cool.
It was unbelievable
He didn't answer your
cinema.
question. He didn't answer your
didn't
I
question.
have no
answer-
idea who hit the homer you're talking about, and I
evasive.
don't even know
And
that
it was
it's
Mike
true.
Piazza.
Evasive, by the way. Evasive. No, it was the week before. Last week we went on a run where within a span of like 5 days, we're like, this was the biggest home run in the history of the Mets.
Oh, it
We're
was
like,
Francisco
what
Lindor, I
are
think.
we talking
It's
about right
Piazza.
now? And we don't even remember what it
FDNY.
was. And I will also say this about his moment. If they lose this series the next game, this moment will be irrelevant. It'll be like, wow, remember that big moment? Oh, yeah, that was the year that they went on to win the World Series. Like, no, it's not. They actually lost the series in 4 games, a best of 5.
But
Yeah.
now they're getting to a bullpen game against Toronto today, and they've got Schlittler on the mound. I mean, they're
Jeter
in a
never
really
allowed
good spot.
bullpen games, and if there was bullpen games, it was Mariano coming in pitching 9.
That's the thing.
Not the Yankees.
And to enter Sandman, and no one will ever do it like that. Judge needs to be the closer in all of these games as well in the World Series.
Don't look into Mariano post Yankees, but in Yankee time when he came out,
Look, this is the best. The Yankees mattering, looking like they're getting slaughtered, unreasonable standards, and Aaron Judge, you play in a bandbox. You're a superhero. You're an action hero. You're hitting 500 in the series, yes, but you have to hit them out of the stadium, fool.
what is his body built like that for? It's not singles. Like, if he's that size, you got to be hitting home runs, and you got to be keeping it in between the fair and foul balls. Cool moment, but, like...
He has a 1,300
Come on.
OPS this postseason.
Great God.
How many games has he started? How many innings has he pitched? Because there's another baseball player
the
who's
thing.
been a lot more impressive
That's
than
the
he's been
thing.
so far.
Okay, so there are two of them, right? One of them plays for Seattle, right?
Yeah.
It's going to win the MVP.
Well, the other's like a former fat guy that now seems a little bit more svelte that's in Philadelphia, who's also having an incredible season. I mean, Aaron Judge, honestly, at this point, is kind of like a footnote in the history books, if
Yeah.
anything, I would say.
Overrated.
Yeah, somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say flat out disappointment, but like when he came on the scene in that home run derby in, what year was it, 2017, we were like, wow, this man is about to take over baseball. He's going to change the way that this game is played. Look at him. He's hitting the roof, the inside of the roof of Marlins Park, these mammoth home runs. And, like, what have we done since then?
Yeah,
Hit 6
Wow.
home runs in elimination games.
Aaron-
By David Ortiz for the most ever.
Aaron Judge and Connor McDavid should do a duet.
I
They should do
honestly,
a song
they,
together.
they really should. I mean, if anything, I'd reach out to Connor and be like, what do we do in this situation? Which would be bad advice because Connor's never overcome this situation. But I'd reach out to him and be like, what do we do, guys that are out here somewhat overrated, somewhat, disappointments, gods in the regular season, but come, playoff time, what can we do? We'll have a moment per series, but then after that, largely forgotten. We're bending over backwards, forcing ourselves into pretzels to celebrate this man, saying, look at him. He set the American League record for intentional walks in a season with 36, 90 behind Barry Bonds' major league record. Look at him. He set the AL record for home runs, a feat that 7 National League players or so have already done. Like, get out of here with Aaron
So
Judge.
Billy's not wrong in that this is the team
Thank you.
of Gehrig and DiMaggio and champions and captains before him. And the expectations on Aaron Judge is he's got to leap over skyscrapers. However, I just want to stop everyone
In a
for
game, he
second.
wins.
That's correct. And,
Do it in a game you lose. I don't care how
I
high
know.
you jump.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's not even that. Not even do it in a game that you lose because they won the game. Do it in a series you win because if they lose the
And
next,
not the ALDS.
if they lose one, no, it's the great standards of the Jeter. That's what it was. Either win the championship or fall on your face, and we won't say you're Mr. October. He will never. What a curse for Aaron Judge that it doesn't matter what he does. He'll never be Jeter. He'll never be Mariano because your grandparents don't care that the pitch was 1.5 feet inside by metrics, and they don't care that it's 99 miles an hour, and they don't care that he just hit a pitch that no baseball player ever, not even your beloved Ruth of the Yankees, would have hit for a home run. You don't care about enter velocity. You don't care about exit velocity. No. There is literally nothing Aaron Judge can do short of winning all the next 2 games today.
Yeah,
he's got to win both of them today to shut this up.
Right. TMI has only been around for however many years.
Exactly.
Very dangerous to say greatest play ever when it happened last night because baseball, keep in mind, goes back to the late 19th century.
TMI.
He's
What
right.
is TMI?
TMI.
Too much information.
That's right.
In the late 1800s, baseball umpires, home plate umpires, sat in rocking chairs 20 feet behind home plate. So the game has changed. But who's to say Babe Ruth wasn't pitching and hitting 100 miles an hour back
Everyone.
then?
Who's to say?
We don't know that.
I would also say this.
don't know.
Who's to say we don't know? We don't have the same modern technology. Right. Greg's absolutely right. And in terms of distances, the umpire in the rocking chair used to say, that felt like 502.
Yes.
Like, that's how we used to measure.
Right,
and
exactly.
we keep saying 99 as though 99 is this impressive thing.
It was 100.
99. Okay, 100. 100 is the new 92, if we're going to be honest with you. 99
Yes.
is the new 92.
Yeah.
No,
He's
it's
right
not.
about that.
99 is the new 92. Back in the day when you dialed it up and you used to hit 97 on that radar gun, you're like, holy crap, how is this a human being? Now we have guys throwing 105, so, like, miss me with 99 miles per hour, like, if I give a crap about that.
Right.
99 is 91, 92. It's basically Maddox out there, 99. Get out of here.
100 miles an hour now is like running a 10.0 in the 100-meter dash.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not throwing, the first guy to throw 110 will earn my attention.
Thank you.
So you're saying, I just want to be clear on what you're saying. Is today's 99, 91 in 91? In 1991, what was someone throwing 91? That's today's 99?
No, today's 99 is 92 and 97. 91 and 91 is probably closer to 94 today.
Yeah,
I
nailed
would
it.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Jamie Moyer, 99 today.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Oh, it must be so frustrating
Phil Necro would be throwing 100 today.
to pitch clock. Again, we're going to talk about the Necros.
Yes.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
So
A planned aneurysm.
I
like that.
can I just stop because
Planerism.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too in the weeds on baseball because there are other things to talk about, but I am going to go in the weeds on just one thing because I want to talk about what's happening in Philadelphia right now because they're playing the Dodgers. Dodgers are kind of great. It's crazy. Glass now coming out of the bullpen. Blake Snell is a totally unhittable person. Like that's not the Dodgers are unbelievably stacked. And the Phillies had them on the ropes in the bottom of the ninth in Philadelphia. And we had some of the sweetest sounds in that sport a few years ago when Philadelphia thought its baseball team was better than the Dodgers. A baseball town thought that they fell in love with Harper and Schwartz is the best. And Trey Turner's an unbelievable player. And the Dodgers are really good. And they had him on the ropes, and if not for Freddie Freeman scooping out a ball, that's a 1-1 series, and the conversation's totally different in Philadelphia. But I wanted to talk about one play in that game that we skipped over yesterday because we don't talk about baseball this way, and I just love this about baseball. Because Philadelphia's season went to die. Castellanos is on second base. The slide is amazing. You have to be safe by this much. And his base running error and how he treated the bunt on a wheel play when no one's bunting anymore because everyone's striking out and they can't even trust anyone to get a fly ball. It's all home runs, and their lineup has Schwarber and Harper, and they cannot hit. As Luzardo and Snell are going back and forth, they can't do what Judge is doing. Multiple postseasons now. Great players. Great core. But Trey Turner's giving you a single. There's not enough. So in that inning, Castellanos gets to second base by his teeth. And they do a wheel play, the Dodgers. They show it on the first pitch. So now you know Philadelphia, it's wheel play. It's going to be Mookie Betts is going to try to beat Castellanos to third, and second baseman's going to go cover first. There's going to be no one near Castellanos in second base. He's got to get a big jump because there's no one near him. The second baseman's running to first base. Both guys are coming in for the bunt. They're showing bunt. The whole infield's open to you. You need a run. These margins are this big. Everyone's fighting with $200 million contracts. They do wheel play. Castellanos isn't fast enough. He gets a bad jump. He gets thrown out at third base. That's the difference between Ohtani's the greatest and the Dodgers are the best and they have all the money and it's 1-1. And Philadelphia is not in an elimination game. But now it all falls on Philadelphia and for seasons because Harper, Schwartz, great seasons, guys. But you can't get past the Dodgers. And it's because of a base running play. And it's because the Dodgers executed expertly. Mookie Betts, who's like their third best player, ridiculously, he's beating Castellanos as the second baseman to third base for the tag by many feet. And they execute with discipline the ending of Philadelphia's season because now you got to beat the Dodgers too many times, and they're too good. They're not going to lose 3 games in a row because Freddie Freeman's their third best player if it's not Mookie Betts.
There was such a brilliance behind that play defensively, as Mookie, by the way, is now playing shortstop. Like, he's played so many different positions over the course of his career, playing shortstop because it helps their team.
Cheater's position.
And the brilliance of that play on defense for everyone to execute, for Freeman to know as the bunt is laid down, I've got to sprint to second base now that it's laid down the third base line to make sure that the runner from first doesn't get over. For Muncy to take a peek as the pitch is going in and realize, okay, Mookie's got the jump on Castellanos. So if I pick up this ball, I can throw to third and know that he's out.
It was like watching a military drill from the future is baseball with these just unbelievable professionals. You got to pay $300 million a year. And Mookie Betts knows how to beat Castellanos by a foot to third the way that Miguel Rojas knew how to beat Trey Turner, one of the fastest players in the league, on a tag at third where the runs are that hard to come by. I love this time of year. It frustrates me that I can only talk to Jeremy about it.
What are you talking about? Greg was engaged. I was engaged.
Really was,
Mike was engaged.
I love
Chris
a
was
wheel
Everyone's
play.
in.
Yeah,
Love
the
a wheel play.
Wheel play.
Is really good. It's Castellanos, though. He pronounces
Thank
it
you,
with the
Greg.
hard L's. Come on. Get in the game. Talk about knowing baseball.
Mike corrected me on this yesterday. It's not Nick Castellanos.
Yeah,
The
that's
L
what he
always has to be rolled. We get that. We get that. Come on, give that to Hispanics.
Wait a minute.
He wants to be,
Castellanos does Llanos, doesn't he?
Yeah, Nick wants to be called Castellanos.
Yeah.
Tommy, though, wants to be called Tommy Castellanos, and you have to respect
You gotta
people's
respect
wishes.
I don't have
Portillo's.
to. I
You
don't
do.
have to respect it. No, I would say that's where you meet my boundaries. You have to allow Latin people. You got everything else. You call it Los Angeles. Let us roll the L's. They're ours.
What if the guy who owns
they're
the
L's.
L's isn't rolling them?
That's what you keep saying to me. You keep telling me that Nick gets to decide. You keep telling me that anyone other than you just always rolls your L's gets to decide.
What if I started calling you Dan Le Batard?
Or Daniel.
Le Batard.
I mean, you call it Los Angeles, Dan. I don't hear you going Los Angeles.
I really condescended from up there on that.
He really did.
I did. I felt bad about that.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
I love baseball this time of year, but it really is hockey time, right? Like I've aired.
Is it?
Is it
Oh,
not?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it is. Did you?
Absolutely not.
Did you see what happened last night? A team surprised us with uniforms. The LA Kings came out in warm-ups in their traditional home uniforms. Then, when it's time to drop the puck, unveiled secret third uniforms with chrome helmets. It was crazy. 4-1 the final there. How about the Pittsburgh Penguins blanking the New York Rangers? It's their 100th season. Beautiful sweaters, blanked at home. And the defending champs, Mackey, 2 assists. Jesper. These are the wingers you need to step up.
Yes.
Man, Florida looks to be in that playoff conversation.
And A.J. Greer with the first goal. I mean, the Panthers got exactly the kind of win that is the recipe for this season. They just need guys on the second and third lines to step up, as they did last year. And that's the reason why they can abide the terrible loss of Barkov and the loss for at least 2 months of Kachuk.
Spencer Knight was exceptional for
He really
Chicago
was, yeah.
last night. That was the one time we're allowing the night thing to happen.
That's
before
it.
the
You
game.
get one night,
No more.
literally
No
and
more.
figuratively.
No more nights.
You can hear the murmuring in the crowd. It is such an annoying thing.
yeah.
Everyone, night, and then you hear people being like, "Wow, what are we doing?"
Murmuring's
I know.
not good during an anthem.
No.
Why
it
does
really
that still happen? Because you'd have to be like a big Panthers fan to do that, but if you were a
Thank
big
you.
Panthers fan to not do that.
Thank you. I was literally last night. Who are these people?
Crisis actors.
Who's the person that's like, you know what? I'm still gonna yell night, even when he's gone.
And it's almost worse that they're yelling night louder than ever when that's the opposing
Well,
goalie.
last night, I'll give it to you. Last night, I'll give it to you because he was in net. It was his first game back. Yeah. He tried to, by the way, in the first period, the Panthers do their video. Anytime a player comes back first time, Spencer Knight was doing the thing where I'm focused on this game. He barely gave a wave. He was trying to do the thing of, I will not be distracted during this first period.
This is nothing against Spencer Knight personally, and I know he's gone through off-field or off-ice stuff personally that good for him.
Yeah, rip him.
But
Oh no.
Get him.
he doesn't deserve a tribute.
Thank you.
Well, he was the backup goalie for a season and a half. Come
I was
on.
wondering
He's
about
a
that.
champion.
What were we doing?
Yeah,
Airing
yeah.
highlights from 4 years ago when he was the answer?
He
They were
was
trying
a
to
champion.
kick Bob out of town. Get
Yeah,
out of here with
It's
that
a
crap.
hockey thing. If someone's
Oh.
last name was Glare, they'd scream it.
Yeah, but they also did that at the Stanley Cup final 3 years ago when they were playing the Knights,
Yes.
which was what are we doing
And
here?
that's their
Right.
thing.
It's bad.
Bad.
Lose it.
Lose it.
You
Loser.
guys have ruled on this, and I have to side with you guys. If you are a real fan and you're not a Juan come lately to hockey down here, you should respect that people have come and gone, and you are an educated fan, and you should respect your champion team by chanting the correct things at the correct players as you get a rat stenciled on your ring. And the ring reminds everyone we apologize for nothing. You guys were swaggering last night. You guys felt last night emotionally, did you not?
Yeah, it's shocking. Another banner going up there. I will say for them maybe missing the mark, and again, we've allowed them to do the Knight thing one last time. And Knight was good last night between the pipes. That was all good. But the fans did get something right. They had a moment of woo. The moment of woo for the fake Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Passed away.
And in that section that he used to sit in, there were signs.
That was nice.
Pictures. That was a real class act. The franchise put out a tribute video upon learning about his passing. Class act. This franchise.
He got a bigger pop than Knight.
I was just going to ask, who deserved a better tribute, him or Knight, according to you, Greg?
The woo man.
Yeah, Woo Man.
The woo man.
Yeah.
How
His
did he?
name?
How did he pass away? Do we know? I'm just curious.
I don't.
Tragically, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pablo's on it.
Yep.
What'd you guys do with your championship coins that they handed out?
Oh, I got mine.
Yeah?
Right in my bag.
Why
there.
do you?
Well, why? You're a journalist. How did you get one?
They hand them out. I take them. You know,
What?
they hand me. I'll show it
Wow.
to you.
You're literally taking coins from the
that's not
Panthers
exactly-
now. Hold on a second. Yeah, and you brought it in to show us?
That's like a currency bribe. That's
He's
right
not
up there
allowed.
with banging the
It's
drum.
an
baby.
ethical
There it
violation.
is.
He is not allowed to accept anything worth more than $25.
Well, that's not.
Disqualified.
Is that a pog?
You didn't go? You didn't get one, Chris?
Slammer.
You didn't get a
I
championship
got one.
coin?
Yeah, I got one. It's at my house.
Nice.
I have to say that honestly, I want to ask you guys the question as a matter of hygiene before we get into the journalism of Greg literally taking coins and proudly showing them while dismissing Zaslow as not a journalist.
You banged a drum.
Zaslow,
That's true.
Okay,
And wore a jersey with your name on. I mean, that's more
Fair
than
enough.
$25.
Le Batard. Caught.
fair enough. Yes, I am also compromised on this front, clearly.
Why would you sell yourself out for the Panthers?
Because it's the joyous bandwagon, and we'll never have anything like this again in Miami unless it's the football team in college, which it might be.
I don't know. Bendix has got his finger on the pulse.
Maybe,
guy's good.
yes, the Marlins also
Yeah, right.
have gotten smarter. But yes, this is me selling my soul to get aboard the bandwagon in a very easy time to get on the bandwagon. Yeah, journalism totally died. Yes. But Greg taking a literal coin, bringing it in proudly, and also being a human being, that I want to check America's temperature on the hygiene of this. I would say that if you go to a hockey game, you have to shower before coming in to work the next day as a matter of principle, just because of the things that happen at a hockey game. You cannot go to bed that unclean and then come into work the next morning
I wasn't playing.
not having showered after going to the arena, an arena filled with all sorts of bile, coming off of a game in the preseason where they fought the Lightning at the top of the sport with 7,000 minutes in penalties because the Panthers want the championship again and they need their dirty journalists.
I saw no bile, by the way. I was in the arena.
Did you go in the dressing room,
catacombs.
Greg?
I did.
Oh, you did.
I
That's
gotta
where
shower
that was
after
my
that.
concern. Because
That's where you gotta
if you're
shower
just in
after
the
that.
arena and there's all the air conditioning, in fact, it's colder than usual. Maybe you don't break a sweat even
Locker
from
room's
that.
a little small
but
still.
that
It's very
that
small, yeah.
locker room is one of the grossest smells that exists.
How would you
in
describe
society.
it? How would you describe the smell in there?
Locker roomish. I
So
mean,
that
it smells.
That's forgive me because I don't actually know if in the last 20 years they've done much in the way of upgrades here. But that locker room, if it's got 20 years of hockey stink in it, you must fumigate upon leaving that room. You must shower after that. That room is disgusting. That room smells like sweat takes form and becomes smoke.
I don't know how to respond to that. I didn't see any smoke.
You came home filthy from hockey
I'm
to
not
watch.
Phil. I wasn't playing in the game.
No, but you go into that locker room and it's like there's a mist around these men. That smell is 20 years of hockey funk. It's an awful room. No matter their riches, no matter their royalty, they cannot fumigate it. It's got 20 years of sweat in it.
It's a sports smell.
All right, we
It's
gotta smell 'em.
beautiful.
I'll smell 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone smell
I'll
Greg.
smell
Give
Get
him
in
a
there,
whiff.
Mike.
I don't care.
I mean, it smells like 2 Stanley Cup final championships to
Smell
me.
me. Smell me. I
Hell
don't
yeah.
care.
No, we don't need to smell them.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
yeah,
as
you
a
do.
matter of principle. I'm just asking the audience, don't you have to shower there?
I showered. I went to the game last night and I showered.
You
this
didn't go to the
morning.
locker room,
I
did
did
you?
not.
I showered before the game.
After that locker room, Greg,
the
I
game,
wanted
yeah.
to defend you, but good Lord, that locker
Mike,
room smells.
mean-
What are you thinking?
He puts on Old Spice, I'm guessing, in the morning,
It's
so he
not
might be
Old
be
Spice.
hiding it.
There is a masking agent.
No, no,
There is a
for sure he'll
masking
put on
agent, yes.
deodorant after not
Yes.
taking a shower, just to,
Right.
to
I'm
treat
wearing
it.
masking tape on my armpits.
Yeah, him having a deodorant and scent is not him coming in clean.
I'm the cleanest man in
No,
this
no.
this
I believe
building.
it.
No.
He looks it.
Thank you, Billy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, nobody
Chris,
cleans
were
like
you made
me.
emotional last night? I do not want to get spoiled by the idea. Okay, there's plenty to talk about today. I really could get into the nuances of baseball in a way that would bore the entirety of the audience for 4 hours. Your dad has come in with what is obviously hockey funk. And I've identified it, and I asked the rest of you, do you often look at your teammates when they come into work and say, that person has not showered today? Do you ever feel like that's ever happening here?
It's probably happening with people looking at me, if anything, I would say.
I just can't believe we're already here. Maybe the season, this offseason seemed extra short because we
feels
played
too soon.
at 5 p.m. Billy, this is the plight of a champion. Like, imagine. The offseason used to feel so long when we were 5 points out of the final playoff spot, but now, too short.
I kind of get what it was when Pat Riley said that he believed that, LeBron intentionally threw that last finals there. That LeBron just kind of wanted some time off. Like, that's what I think
That's
it
a whole
was.
week.
Because you get it's like a week and a half sometimes. If it goes 7, you get extra break. Like, I get the accusation now.
What do you have Pat Riley saying?
That LeBron threw it at the end. That he tried to lose that finals
I don't
on his
think
way
Pat
out.
Riley did. Pat
As
Riley
I
ever
remember
say
it,
that?
it was something like that.
News-
He told
Newsworthy.
you that, didn't
Mickey
he?
didn't deny it in one of our 3 questions.
Surprised that didn't become a news story.
Wasn't that a thing? Wasn't that an accusation that was out there by
Yeah.
many people? And then it was like, oh, he was also just playing video games when we met. Like, I think that was a thing.
Do you think that's why Aaron Judge lets the Yankees lose?
The media blew that
It's
story,
not Aaron
huh?
Judge's fault that the Yankees are losing.
Quote, I don't know how he hit the pitch. There's one person on the planet that can do it, and it's Aaron Judge. That's your boy Derek Jeter.
I mean,
Anything on that?
He's somewhat of a cheerleader
Yankee
for the
on
Yankees.
Yankee
That's
praise.
exactly right. He needs to kind of go out there. He knows that his role now is captain. Once you're Yankee captain, you're Yankee captain forever.
Yeah.
So he knows his role is to prop up the Yankees in this situation, whether he believes it or
Yeah,
not.
but now him and Ortiz are doing comedy because it's time for Schlittler to save the season.
Every single one of you pronounce his last name. You kept first.
Schlittler. Oh, well, he's the master. Schlittler.
Schlittler.
Now your turn.
Sound like Hitler.
Ha! Comedy!
Go to a break.
That's the funniest thing Fox has ever done. That's the funniest thing Fox has ever done.
He just won with Jeremy Taché.
Because Jeremy was an alleged journalist last night. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Jeremy, who is an up-and-comer in the broadcasting game and is someone who has now journalistic credentials around, literal credentials around the Heat and the Marlins. Yesterday he was hosting. And this is one of the great things, Stugotz, this time of year. We get it so infrequently around here in South Florida. But South Florida has always done this well. The rest of the country always makes fun of, you guys don't care about that sports that much. You're bandwagon people. All right. Many of us are. Not everyone is. The loyalists are super loyal. But Miami does the bandwagon better than anybody. Miami does. Everyone now show up for the party. And so you have, stunningly, a hockey arena in the Everglades, surrounded by airboats and alligators, filled with people to do the wave, watching the game on television. And at the Heat, across the street from us last night, Jeremy Taché is watching the end of that game with a lot of people who are excited. And Stugotz, I'm getting a lot of this. Jimmy was out of bounds, and it ended up being a 3. That was a goaltend ref culture win. Okay, whatever. Tell it to the people who were yelling and screaming around Jeremy.
How about this? 1-1, we're coming home.
Okay, who's we?
Yeah, I took the Heat in 5. Anyone else?
He's right.
All right. The Knicks are watching this like everybody
2
else.
rounds ago.
It was a long time ago, understandably. Here's Jeremy Taché not being a journalist while covering, again, an arena filled with people, but no players or athletes were there.
You're catching us right now as the
jump as this energy around the entire lower bowl was electric from the moment this game started until the moment it ended. As we pan out to the rest of the crowd, you can see the entire lower bowl going absolutely crazy to end this game. The Miami Heat have just won it as Jamal Murray's shot has not gone in. I cannot believe what I've witnessed around me. There were moments in the fourth quarter where I couldn't hear myself think. I don't even know if you can hear me on the microphone. What a night at the Kaseya Center as the Miami Heat take their first game, their first win in Denver, and I know that this crowd right here is ready for an unbelievable party Wednesday night, Game 3 here in the Heat's house. Guys, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Oh my gosh, Jeremy Taché doing that on one tank of oxygen.
Not a single breath taken. He was like one of those free divers that go down for 20 minutes at the bottom of the ocean. It was a record. And if you're listening just by audio and not watching, what you didn't see in that noise is there were 11 actual babies tossed in the air. Just infants.
Seems
that were
reckless.
It does. But hey, it's game 2.
Right.
Wait till game 7 of this thing.
Right.
11 babies, a fetus.
It's not going 7. I said 5. I mean,
That's right.
You did mention that.
yeah.
The energy was actually insane. I don't remember any of that. I feel like I blacked out as that happened. It sounded like I was losing my voice. I wasn't losing my voice. I literally was just unhinged. I don't remember it. It was really amazing.
You blacked out. Excellent work by you, blacking out as a impartial observer of games.
Well, you can't be impartial if you're holding a microphone that says Heat TV.
My job
Right.
is sales
And
in that.
high-fiving.
moment.
It is. You're
people.
emceeing.
Yeah.
Emceeing is really sales.
I'm
right?
there.
Yeah.
I'm there to make sure everybody's ready to be at games 3 and 4. I'm there to make sure that everybody is ready to be at the road rally. Bally Sports, the heart of the fan.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Would the Zeller minutes look the same if you replaced him with a newborn giraffe?
Or that newborn baby that was being hoisted into the air.
The giraffe would just be more distracting. I feel like we'd have more success.
No,
It'd be
Zeller's
like,
plenty distracting.
Porter
He's right
Jr. would
now.
be like, "Why is there a giraffe on the court?"
No. Listen to me. Zeller is a strong human being. He is a big human being. And when he starts balling around there.
I can't take my eyes off of him.
Well, no,
I mean,
nobody can. Nobody can. Jokic, you're hoping to distract Jokic. It's dangerous. It's like having a wrecking ball just move through the court, but it's like on a hinge that's not safe, and it's just swinging through. And you got to be careful because every once in a while they'll put one in with an offensive rebound. But everyone be careful because it might fly into the stands. The Zeller minutes are amazing. Yeah. They're a joy to watch.
Oh.
Ever since Tony pointed it out, those black shoes, they don't
It's
help.
the hair or lack of hair too. It's kind of disturbing.
No, it's also the mask, or just again. I've mentioned that it should be a retainer, a wire that runs outside of his mouth. It's just
like
all
ear to ear
that could impale someone.
And if not for a Theragun, that could be Dwayne Dedman.
Jeremy becomes Jeremy.
Okay, so we got a bear here stumbling around. You see that mirror to the left? He's like, "Oh, this is weird. There's a lot of weird stuff here." Oh my God! I just saw myself. He's like, "Get out of here!" So that's how I imagine a bear would react if they saw Jeremy in the woods.
But that's what they would do to me.
It's really screwed up to do that to a bear, honestly. Just like not expecting, just like having a nice stroll.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Tony's top 5 is around the corner. Last time he went out there, he injured himself, and he said he was bringing litigation. I don't understand. I didn't tell him to do any of that. I thought it was a bit try hard, but I appreciated that he was doing it for us. But I didn't ask him to do any of it, and now he's suing the company and suing me because he's injured. And now he's out back on the road again. Where is he today? Where's litigation right now?
I know he's out in the field. I think it's a surprise, so we'll find out together.
Can we make that a class action or
Well, what would you be getting in on?
psychological and emotional damage?
From what? What Billy did to you that first segment?
From what's happened for about the last 3.5 years.
Okay. Your love of baseball is nice, and I hope that someday before the end of these playoffs we stop segregating it. Because I really – the Vlad Guerrero story is so cool. To have him topple this team while Aaron Judge, like he's at the top of whatever the sports mountain is, slugging it out for their cities with like Ohtani over here who's got Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman behind him. It's like it's an unbelievable time in baseball if you've cared about the history of that sport. When the Blue Jays aren't even playing with Dante Bichette's kid. He's not even in this series because the Blue Jays are loaded too, and Guerrero really hates the Yankees. Like he really wants to beat them.
Whatever happened to Biggio's kid?
Kind of flamed out.
That stinks.
Mike, are the kids or the sons getting you interested in baseball?
I'm taking a look at the the Mariners. I don't care.
Yeah, Big Dumper. Bro, what about Big Dumper? He hit it to a guy who said, dump it here.
TV,
Dumping it.
But
Hockey started yesterday.
Jeremy, aren't a lot of fans wearing a Dumper shirt? Like, I feel like
No,
the
this
odds
guy-
of a fan who's wearing a Dumper shirt catching
Did you see the shirt?
Yeah, I did.
He created it himself with his own cricket at home, and it said dump it here, and it had 61 on the front for the 61st home run. And then after that, he took it off, and underneath that, dump 62.
Now that's cool.
He had both.
All right.
It
You
was
know
sitting
what?
there in left field to have to hit it opposite field and go. I mean, guys, baseball. Please,
I'll be locked
join
into the
me.
Championship Series, I think. I don't know. Maybe. Don't count on me. But maybe the world. I don't know.
That fan must have been mocked by all his friends. Like, dude, you think you're going to get a home run ball, and then you think you're going to get another one, and then look at him. Look at this guy.
Has there been a worse nickname than Dump? Like
The Big Dumper?
Yeah, like a nickname that's
a bad
less
take.
appealing.
It's a bad
a
take.
great
No,
nickname.
it's a look. It's a fun nickname to say, but if I'm the guy they're calling the Big Dumper, I don't know if I like that.
Because he's got a great ass. You know that's why
got
we're
a
doing it,
great-
right?
Yes, he's a
Yeah,
catcher. He's
I've
got-
seen better.
Is there a catcher with a bad ass?
Pull
He's
up
got
a
an
photo of that.
overrated ass.
I mean,
Pull
look
up
at
a photo.
Yeah, Greg's right. Overrated ass, and his dad's ass is horrific.
Let me see that thing. Let me see that photo of that ass.
Really? That's what we're doing?
No, I want to
Let's
see
pause
it.
until we see it.
It's
Yeah,
an
hold
average ass.
You know what? There was a catcher with a bad ass.
Who?
Paul Bacco.
I believe it.
Javi Lopez didn't have a great ass.
In the right angle.
I
I would
thought-
also say, like, this whole, like, take off your shirt 61, 62, like, that moment's done. This is a postseason.
Yeah.
The stats reset. That's not a home run number 62. Like,
Right.
enough of, like, this made-up history where we're rewarding Aaron Judge for doing, like, as the kids say, mid things, okay? No, Baco is a friggin' – that's a
Irons.
plancha, yeah.
Yeah, that's an ironing board
Get
right
outta
there.
here. Baco.
Yeah, you need an ass like Big Dumpers.
How's it even possible to not have a good butt as a catcher?
I want my catcher to be a pog.
Pudge had a good one, right, Dan?
Yes, for sure.
There you go.
The catcher, I mean, the hips are wide open, and they have a lot. The lower body strength of these human beings, as this guy says, because the Big Dumper is saying, be prepared with shirts 62 and 63 for Game 4. Like, you've got a legitimate swaggerer over in Seattle who's coming to also try and topple the Yankees. And we can't do anything to get Mike interested in this. As like a catcher for all times, who's hitting more home runs than have ever been hit, non-steroid division.
No. I mean, I'll certainly make time for the M's if they advance. I have it on the second screen. I don't know how to pronounce anybody's names. I did find it weird that you thought Julio Rodriguez was 32, but I'm like, I barely follow this.
24 years old.
No,
That was weird.
Dan definitely said 32. No one else.
He said it
only
with
8 years
conviction, and so did you. And I was
Me?
very confused by it.
Yes, I thought we were doing a bit where we were making the old guy, the young guy old because the catcher's the new hot thing in town after they'd already tired of their Latino Ken Griffey Jr., J-Rod, who went over 5 in this, by the way. He's been surpassed as a star in his city. He was supposed to be the star of these champion Mariners. He's not. Their catcher is. The catcher took the team from him.
It's amazing, and they have Randy Arozarena.
If you think you're family.
What?
You kind of did that.
I don't look. I can't speak with conviction. I'm a know-it-all, but I know nothing about this, so I'm enjoying you guys informing me.
Remember that class action I was talking about?
All right, so I want to bring in Greg on something here because I meant to say this a couple of days ago. If we're going to cover football and sports in this silly of a fashion, it is pretty interesting when the Arizona Cardinals have a loss for all times, like one of the great debacles ever seen in the history of the sport, and they all pride themselves as like being these military units of precision on Sundays. Arizona's clown show. That game they lost is impossible to lose. You play it 1,000 times, you're supposed to win it 1,000 times. They drop a ball in the end zone that would have put them up 28-6. And afterward, a coach that I made fun of 2 weeks ago because you can't win with a top Jonathan unless it's Ogden or unless it's Taylor. But if he's going to go Jonathan, it's a Ganon. And he was a total stoic. He's one of these robots. These look, I got Kyler Murray. We busted on Josh Rosen. We got out of that quick. It burned up Kingsbury. I'm one of these boy children who's trying to be the next McVay. Stoic. Like, that guy has lost games. That team's pretty talented, but all close games, you never see anything from this guy's face. And then his running back flips away a casual touchdown, and this guy puts his hands on the player on the sidelines while yelling at him. When I just told you 2 weeks ago, this guy seems to show no emotion ever. He seems almost robotically principled about, I'm in control here. There's nothing that can happen in this game that can affect me, right until my running back's a dumbass. Right. And then I get enraged and want to punch him on the sidelines.
Yeah, he's allowed to do that, in my opinion.
Whoa!
Yes, he's allowed.
He got fined $100,000.
Yeah,
the boy child?
That's fine.
The boy child did.
Yeah,
Dan, when you said he's one of these boy children,
what does that mean?
were you thinking was your very next thought, like, I hope no one seizes on this?
Yes,
that does sound weird.
Yes, I meant
boy
to say.
children.
I wrote it down.
I meant to
He's
say.
one of these boy children.
Child wonder is what I meant.
Okay.
Child
so I'm
wonder.
glad we were right to seize on that, right?
I think the phrase is boy wonder, not child wonder.
Okay,
or
so
boy child.
you know what my point was? One of these young masterminds on offense that's going to make Kyler Murray championship good.
Well, he's a defensive guy. Yeah. He's that type of boy child.
Okay, here's the thing. We're talking about football here, okay? Sort of a rough sport. I don't know how you guys follow the game, how closely. We're talking about a sport where you literally hit each other. You're allowed to punch the ball out of somebody's arms. And we're worried about somebody laying hands on somebody? Laying hands. You think he hurt the running back?
Dude,
I don't
you
think
cannot
so.
defend that. You cannot defend it.
$100,000 fine for that?
He struck a coworker. He struck, like, his player. That was a bad look. And honestly, like, ESPN did a bad job covering this. They did a bad job. Like, it was only until, like, after the fine was levied did they start talking about it, because this video was out there. Jonathan Ganon gave people license to discuss this. He was sorry, as he should be, because he said that he hadn't seen the clip, which is BS. But we can have sound from his press conference. Let Jonathan Ganon speak for himself, because I do think he had a fair amount of contrition, because this is not just a bad look. Honestly, should have been considered as a fireable offense. Not just
crazy.
Losing that game, but striking a player that viciously.
He slapped the guy on the arm.
I think he struck him pretty hard. I mean, DeMarcado's a big back, and his body gets pushed back. But let's have Jonathan Ganon speak for himself, the boy child.
I didn't see the video, David, but yeah, I actually I woke up this morning and didn't feel great about it, honestly. And so in the team meeting, I addressed it. I apologized to Omari, apologized to the team. And I just told him I kind of let the moment of what happened get the better of me there. Obviously, like I try to be emotionally stable and calm, because my job is to solve problems when during a game and kind of lead the charge on that. So it's not really who I am, who I want to be, and I told the guys that today. So it's a mistake by me, and it's just like everybody in there. Everybody made some type of mistake yesterday, which is, culminates to why we didn't win the game.
No.
And we can't let it happen moving forward.
He just blamed DeMarcado again for being on the receiving end of being struck.
I love how he's like, I didn't see the video, but I just woke up.
I
didn't feel right.
He should have been called into the owner's office. That was such a bad look. Number one, losing the game is terrible. That's just a terrible job out of him.
Well, can we go a step further, though? Hold on. I mean, come on, because bad luck is such a swipe that doesn't even mean anything anymore. It really doesn't. Right. Bad luck.
It means nothing.
This person who's in charge, who I just 2 weeks ago, I'm watching these boy children who lead these men into battle, and I pointed out 2 weeks ago, this is like the most stoic of the dudes. This is like Bud Grant. This guy shows no emotion. It is calamity out there every weekend with that team because his quarterback's a lunatic who just runs from side to side trying to get away from coverage and does it pretty well, but isn't good enough and is going to get ground up physically by what it is to play for that organization. That guy put his hands on his running back because he's like, you jackass, it's all our futures. What are you doing flipping the ball there? We had the game won. Of course he's enraged. Of course he's emotional. And of course he's got to be better than that.
He's allowed the frustration, in my opinion, and he said what he had to say. You have to do the rote apology because there's a lot of people like Mike who are saying that's a fireable offense. I could not
I'm the
disagree
snowflake.
more.
I understand being super upset with DeMarcado in that situation. I understand getting in his face. I'll even abide by a little face mask tug. But to strike an individual? If that happens in any other workplace, the person is possibly fired on the spot.
Wait a minute. So you'll allow a face mask tug, but not a slap on
said
the
a
arm?
slight.
Yeah,
He said a
slight.
slight tug.
Yeah, we're not talking about 15 yards here. We're talking about the old school 5-yard penalty.
Okay, do you think the big running back was injured by that?
Do you think he
slap on
didn't
the
feel
arm?
bad? Hey, DeMarcado on the sideline was despondent.
Yeah, and should have been.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not like he was over there all smiles. There's no reason to justify it, and Ganon's apology was good up until the point he decided to blame DeMarcado again.
Because the guy was full of blame for what he did. There's certain things in sports that you can't do because they're totally within your control. You can't do that because you're showboating and costing your team a touchdown and a victory. That's the football equivalent of hitting the game-winning grand slam and having it not count because you forgot to touch first base. You just cannot do that. And if I'm the coach or the manager and my player does that, I'm going to be frustrated, I'm going to be angry, and I have a right to be.
Time to throw away all journalistic credibility and get reckless. Here is something we like to call reckless speculation.
You're good.
Thank you. He's kicked a dog.
Whoa, I mean, come on.
I mean, come
we
on.
don't know that.
Come on.
It is kick a dog energy.
That is kick a dog energy.
But we don't know that it
That is bad dog.
Hold on.
Kick a dog energy. No. I'm just saying.
It's worse than a bad look. It's worse than a bad look.
You cannot tell me that's not kick a dog energy.
KDE.
I have a question, Greg.
Yeah.
So DeMarcado's 5'9" and Ganon is 6 feet. I guess this is a question for Mike, too. If it was opposites, if Ganon was 5'9" and DeMarcado was 6 feet, would it change things?
It's the employer dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, no,
You
I agree with that situation where it's because like then you start talking about Draymond Green punching teammates. And it's like, it's sports, that happens, right? But there's like the boss-employee situation. But if their body types were different, would it change things?
DeMarcado's got some biceps to him.
This is not an office where this happens and you call HR.
What do you mean?
Okay, this is a violent sport, and the idea of a coach barely slapping a player's arm.
That wasn't barely. That wasn't barely. I think the issue that I and many other people like me, snowflakes, took issue with was the fact that it wasn't just a little slap on the arm. He struck the man.
Yeah.
That he gave him a Ric Flair chop across his chest.
I've seen Chris and his father wrestle. Greg will get grabby with the elbows. Greg is not above saying publicly to all who will listen, I'm fine with striking a man. That's it.
I'll break your arm off. That's what he'll say to me.
Oh, I mean, I'm kidding when I say it.
Are you?
I'll rip your fingers off. Sure.
No.
Yeah.
Look, Greg can be a violent man when enraged.
No, I can't be a violent man.
If his car's the wrong color, I mean, all bets are off.
Okay, that's fair.
Call her, Lean. I want to find out how she feels about this shitty Corvette.
Did you just
she gave
eat that
Greg.
for like 3 years or whatever?
Yeah.
You just drove around a car you didn't like for how many years?
I mean, I grew to like it. You know, it was a nice car. It was my first one. I was thrilled to have it. You know, but
the last time a head coach struck a player that I can recall was Bruce Arians. And I think the media held him accountable there.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my God! Did I shriek to the heavens?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something you see often
I get-
because it's wrong.
Didn't Mike Singletary show his wiener to his team one
Yeah,
time in a
I think it was
motivation?
It was a different
There
time.
you go, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it was
No, it was his front. It wasn't his back. It was his front. He said, "Look at these. You guys don't have a pair of these or something like that."
No, it was his back.
I'm pretty sure
It
it
was
was.
his back.
No,
It was his back.
I gotta look it up. It was
was
a
his
crazy
back.
story.
You're gonna
I think
look
It
it
was
up?
his back.
Yeah,
It was
I think it was his front. He said, "You guys don't have a pair of these?
Billy,
Okay,
it was Palm Beach. It was the 90s.
The key was he didn't strike anybody with the penis, apparently, because if you
That would have
if
been the
you-
line for you.
If you lay hands on somebody.
What happened to the
Oh
great Bobby
my
Knight?
God. Oh my God! I laid a hand on a player.
Yeah.
Come on. I get why the league instituted this fine. I get why the league fined him. The league has to do that. They have to be politically correct. They got to do all that
not
stuff.
politically
I
correct,
guarantee you that most Cardinal fans are like, yeah, I'd have hit that guy too.
This is not a Newsmax engagement story.
you
This
think-
is not. It's not PC culture. It's not the softening of America. It's bad. I think we have consensus. You watch that video. Head coach should not be doing that to players.
Most fans would have hit him too.
Oh, come on. He needlessly and carelessly and with full of ego.
That was a touchdown.
Cost his team a
that's the
touchdown.
other
It was a
part.
touchdown.
It was a touchdown.
That's
He
the
didn't
other
even
part.
look.
The ball is ahead of the foot.
That's
the
the
foot
other
is clearly
part.
on the line.
That's the other part.
Touchdown.
The other part is the whole league got it wrong. Look, if you want to go macro on this is flatly cruel here, okay? The place we've arrived with dehumanization of these athletes with our fantasy leagues and our addictions to all the action. This dude was shamed upon this happening. America's laughter fell upon him. That must be a mental health crisis, and his coach was not an ally or helpful there because Greg says he's right to be enraged because all of America was. You careless fool, you idiot. I just learned who you were, and what I know now is you're an idiot. You cost your team one of the most epic collapse I've seen this century. I'm not kidding you when I tell you that the way that game was lost, that Cam Ward throwing an interception that ends up being the biggest touchdown of his game-winning career in the pros because Arizona kept giving the ball back. Arizona became a source of national shame, a regional team for so long. Kyler Murray can't pull them out of it. They're a regional team. That team fights to be 500 every year and threw away a football game yesterday. And the face of that is a guy whose name we all learned together, and I wondered if he was Hispanic. And then I'm like, this guy is going to get buried, and America's laughing at you. Wow, that feels shitty. And there's your coach to tell you just how shitty you are, and now he struck you. Like, yeah, we'll be liberal in saying, oh, that's so, like, come on, toughen up, America. But, like, our cruelty is slapping this kid in the face. Like, he cares about his job.
I hate that we're at a place where, like, someone's labeled soft for saying you shouldn't be doing that. It's obvious to the eye that a head coach should not be doing that. Any workplace, that's not okay. And I understand the NFL is not just any workplace. There's a reason why we're talking about it. There's a reason why there's film of it. There's a reason why he got fined $100,000 because it is consensus. We have everybody agreeing here. Shouldn't have done it.
No, Greg's not agreeing with that.
I'm fine acknowledging that it's not something that you want to see out of your head coach. He was right to apologize. Maybe the league was right to fine him, although it's a slap on the wrist, a token fine.
That's not the phrasing you want to use.
$100,000 is not a small fine.
Right.
No, it's not even just that it's fine. Guys, to make this go away, you have to make it look punitive, as if you know that it's bad. But it's only not as bad as it should be because everyone's yawning and doing what Greg's doing. Look, he's in charge. He's allowed to be frustrated. The dude was an idiot. What difference does it make if the boss hits him? But the part I'm laughing at is I've mentioned the demeanor of a head coach in the NFL how many times with us doing this history of the sport when I'm telling you that Tom Coughlin's not helping the kicker when the kickers missed the field goal in Green Bay and the whole Giants building falls on the kicker and Coughlin yells at him because he's not disciplined to make a kick in the snow. We've allowed this in football so that the guy in charge is in such power that, of course, he could hit the employee and Greg would yawn and it would be $100,000 and we'd say that's a lot, but it's not enough. This guy's job is to make sure that those players feel like they are allies protected with him, by him. Like, you're not going to come touch me, coach, not unless you're willing for me to touch you back.
I cannot believe he took the opportunity to blame DeMarcado again.
He apologized. At the end, he's just like, but we all made mistakes.
A lot of mistakes were made in that situation. We all made it. That sucked.
He broke the plane.
He didn't make a mistake. He scored a touchdown. He saved your bacon with a huge run.
Man. I still don't get it.
Major KDE.
Maybe it was a bad call by the officiating, but that's off point here. For the record, I never called the running back an idiot. Okay, I called him careless.
No, but I'm just saying that's what America's doing.
Okay.
You might be more careful with your language, but what I'm saying is it must really stink to be the face of failure on the run of your life, because it's a 70-yard run. They're hard to get the big plays in that sport. You've had 3 touchdowns in your career. This is a big moment for you, and it turns like that into you're the one everyone in the sport is laughing at today for being careless with the 1 o'clock games. With the 1 o'clock game stunk, and your game was interesting, and you threw we all paid attention on Sunday. You were one of the big stories because you fool.
Yeah, all of the athletes on failing teams talk about we have to have accountability, right? That's like a mantra in sports, especially in football, I think. And so this is a matter of that. You have to take accountability. You effed up majorly, okay? And yes, majorly is a word.
No one disagrees with any of that.
Okay, so when you do F up, you can't feel that surprise when your teammate yells at you and admonishes you on the sideline.
Though. Yeah, okay.
But teammates do that too.
I don't think he's surprised. I think he's surprised by getting struck. Yeah. No, that we don't see it all that often. For all the macho attributes you want to apply to this sport, I remember when coaches do this because it's a rare sight. Because not just is it a rare sight, it's a really bad look. Mm-hmm. It's super unprofessional.
Okay.
Bad looks doing so much work there. Why don't we call it what it is, guys? You cannot have the white authority figure putting his hands on.
I don't want to make this.
There we go.
It's a power dynamic thing more than a race thing.
Even if he was a white player, it'd be a problem.
NFL HR would be so wild, honestly, if like Monday it's like, okay, if you have any HR complaints about this weekend, call in. It's like, when I was at the bottom of that dog pile, someone's finger went.
That's such a good.
It's like, wait, what? Hold on a second. Do you know what color was the jersey of the opposing player? Like, made me feel really uncomfortable when number 72 from the other team touched my arm. And then I was like, please stop doing that, sir. And then he tried to swing and told me he tried to punch at the ball, but instead he punched me in the head, and it made me feel really inadequate at the time.
There you go.
NFL HR.
I'm serious.
I, by the way, was trying to clear up some misrememberings early on the Mike Singletary situation. So Mike Singletary in October of 2008 was the interim head coach of the 49ers, and they were down 20-3 to the Seattle Seahawks. So he decided as the interim head coach.
What year is it?
2008, October 2008, as the interim head coach.
So
early interim head coach, but October's early for an interim head coach.
But jar my memory here. So so Mike Singletary is being given one of these Jeff Saturday jobs before he's actually qualified. He's done some assistant head coaching, but he's the emotional leader of the 49ers, and he is their coach, and he's embroiled in what?
He's the interim head coach. It's October 2008. They were losing 20-3 to the Seahawks, and he decided to drop his pants during the halftime speech to motivate the team, to express to them that they were getting their tails whipped. Unclear as to whether or not Mike Singletary has a tail, but he decided to drop his pants for visual aids. Now, their speculation ranges from he was in his boxers to he mooned the team.
No, there was not speculation. This was stronger than speculation at the time.
I will say
this was before the insiders.
Okay, I will say this. I went to the ESPN article from October 30th, 2008, which was written by John Clayton, and at the top there is a note saying this story has been corrected because there were various rumors going around as to what the extent of his pant dropping entailed. So then I did a follow-up Google search, which was, did Mike Singletary show his penis to his team? And then Google AI says, no, that claim that Mike Singletary showed his penis to his team is categorically false and a baseless rumor.
All right, Pablo, find out, please.
Yeah.
I remember
maybe
this.
Maybe butt, maybe tail.
I thought it was reported as he mooned his team.
What a boner. The mistake by Singletary.
Get it?
It was just a bad mistake he made.
Thank you, Billy, for the helpful aid.
Because it could be like a mistake or an erection.
What a boner. Yes, it was a boner. That's correct.
Thank you.
Greg's on fire today, man.
He's 70 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't have to bathe after taking coins from the local team while protecting his journalism. And the young kids are out at the gym right now Tony wants in on his football conversation. This is his moment to shine, and we've had him sitting around for 30 minutes. He's in one of our gym's lovely here at the Elser. This is a good gym. This is one of, I mean, I think I can say it. This is one of the better gyms you will find anywhere in Miami.
Great view in that gym.
Dan, Tony's Top 5 is presented by Smirnoff, the official vodka sponsor of the National Football League. Smirnoff, please drink responsibly. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Vodka, 40% alcohol by volume.
Going to be a better view in 4 years.
Well, can we talk about that or no? Can we talk about the presidential
Be careful.
library?
He's
You want to talk about it right now?
He's going to be speaking
Yeah, Tony, what are your thoughts?
at Kaseya in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so
My thoughts are, let's get to the top 5.
we've got
My brother.
right next to us, Tony. Tony, you were just at, Tony, didn't you just go to Freedom Tower with my dad? Didn't you just do that?
Yes.
I did. It was lovely. It was cool to see somebody who had been there and walk back in. Your dad's face for the first time when we saw like the grand hall where he walked in was unreal. Something I'll never forget, Dan. So thank you for that, actually.
Did you scout that locale next door? Nice little plot.
I took a look. Yeah.
Why are you talking about this in such cryptic terms?
It's going to make a great library/hotel/casino.
All right, so you guys need to watch Last Week Tonight on presidential libraries and what an amazing grift that is. And the land next to us, right between us and the Freedom Tower.
How do you like the setup tone?
As Tony
good.
sues the company, I think
You would.
the view right now is of Freedom Tower. Or are you on the other side of the gym? The gym's 2 stories over there. Can you see the Freedom Tower from where you are?
Dan, I could see it bright and clear right in front of me. It looks good. It's actually never looked better, Dan, to be honest.
Knock it down. It's going to block a hell of a building.
So, but by next year, does it mean between now and then DeSantis is going to give Trump a casino to put there?
Look, I don't have that information.
Okay,
what I would say is, you know, buy some stock in the Freedom Tower. I think it'll be fine.
Top 5 plots of land to put a library/hotel/casino.
The Shorty's plot of land that just sold for $14 million.
Right, the old Herald building. Let's have 2 libraries.
Do people know how much
He was president twice.
Do you know?
Should have been 3.
There's no land in South Florida. There's a plot of land next to us that DeSantis just gave to Trump to put a greasy casino.
Presidential library, technically.
/hotel/casino.
Between me and the Freedom Tower, I can see the Freedom Tower now.
Read between the lines.
Enjoy the view while you still have
While you
it.
still can.
That view's gone because the parking lot is
that feels
exactly
good.
where it's going.
And leave it right there. Don't elevate it because climate change is a lie.
You can't put Trump's story in my father's shadow like that. Come on.
Your father's going to be the one in the shadow, I think.
Yeah. Your father will be cutting the ribbon.
My father came to this country through
He'll
that
be at the
building.
ribbon cutting ceremony like all our great Cubanos that have been here for a long time. None of that TPS nonsense.
My father's 82.
Some would say too long.
He just went to Freedom Tower with
Top 5
Tony.
Cubans that have been here too long. Number 1, Dan Le Batard. Number 2, Mark Cuban, Little Mouthy.
Did Tony
Go
hurt
on,
his
Mike, keep
hip?
going.
Why is he doing stuff on his
3,
thigh?
Mike
What
Ryan.
is
Arrepentido.
No, so we learned, Billy. That's true. Amen. So we learned, obviously, Carmen is doing a great job here, and what we learned is it's actually not my hip; it's my sartorius muscle.
Yes. Sartorius.
My sartorius muscle is actually a little known muscle that goes from the top of the quad all the way down underneath the big quad muscle. So Carmen diagnosed me and was able to figure out, hey, look, it's not your hip. It's actually your quad. So, Dan, I'm going to have to change the lawsuit and say quad instead of hip. So, just so you know the verbiage on that.
Number 4, Chef Andres. And number 5, Cuban that's been here too long, Bad Bunny.
Can you guys get cleared for me? Can you please get cleared for me what Last Week Tonight did with Fox's reaction to Bad Bunny and just the idea of a Latin Super Bowl show, because I'd like to be able to replay that. But Tony, I'm sorry, we've taken enough of your segment. Tell me, what's OLI? What are you doing? Just observations?
We got a couple OLIs, and then we're going to get into the top 5, Dan. So we'll start in OLI number 1. Daniel Jones might actually be the MVP if it wasn't that Baker is actually going to win the MVP.
Oh, wow, we're already there. Week 6, you guys are going to do that?
We do this every year.
I mean, Dan,
week
who's
6 with
leading
Baker.
the MVP race right now?
But you're doing that?
Baker.
Who led it in week
Yeah, of course
6
I'm doing
last
that.
year?
It was Baker last year too. Like we do this with Baker kind of every year, and at the end, everything shakes out.
This is unprecedented.
Oh, it's a popularity contest. Oh, Josh Allen. Yeah, he was so good. Okay, fine, whatever.
I think it's the first time since
Let's give
merger,
Baker a shot.
A team that has won 4 of its 5 first games in the last minute.
And when they finish 10-7, we'll doubt them in a bad division because they won't be quite as good as the Rams in a playoff game. Like Baker Mayfield's now in the top tier of he's going to be playing important games, at least in part because he'll always win that division. Where are we going next?
All right, the second OLI.
That looks like it
Commies are a
feels
problem,
good.
Dan.
That looks like it feels good.
No, when she digs in the elbow into the sartorius muscle, it doesn't feel good. That's why I had to give the groan.
Look at
because
the
it's not,
skin in that,
it's not feeling
being
good.
cupped.
What
at
is
the
that?
top
Is that
there?
color
Ugh.
puncture? What is that? Why do you were you cupped?
Yeah,
what is that?
It's called cupping, Dan. Yeah.
I am getting
it's
to
called
know
cupping,
Tony
Dan.
here.
It actually allows the blood to kind of rush up through the cup and then disperse back down into the muscle.
Can you move that towel?
Really does.
What a boner.
This feels pornographic. That's the most pornographic thing we've done.
Really, I'm looking at Deshaun Watson here. What's going on?
Aw, come on.
Greg, I like that one, Greg. Play on for me. All right, Dan, commies are a problem.
Play on?
You agree?
Play on.
Play on.
Commies
play on.
are a
Let's have fun.
problem. The Freedom Tower is going to be blocked by the shadow of the Trump Grift Casino.
Oh, a lie. Both Manny Diaz's.
That would.
That's
that
how
would
it's
actually be
gonna end for
capitalism
us.
as a problem, but that's a different
how it's
story.
going to end for us. Seriously, they're going to take the view next door with a casino. My father came into this country through that building.
And he'll be going out of it through that building.
As the casino host.
That's right.
Brought to you by DraftKings.
Get ready to learn Palantir, Papi.
Why'd they move the fight from the 4th of July to his birthday? That's crazy.
Because it's a greater date.
He's 82. My father's 82. He came to this country through that building.
Last OLI, Flacco to the Bengals. Intrigued.
That was a good one yesterday. That was a good old-fashioned one where we all rose our eyebrows and like, oh, Flacco will give you 4 touchdowns to Chase and Higgins in a game. Maybe Gesicki will get involved because it's Flacco. Or he'll throw 5 interceptions.
You have Jake Browning for that. Flacco will come in and throw the touchdowns.
Everybody,
You're good.
Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm right or wrong here. Everyone in sports had a consensus reaction to that trade, which was maybe on Flacco for a couple of games with those receivers. Consensus,
100%.
Great trade, Cincinnati.
Yes.
Oh, lie. Little Marco. Oh, wait. No. We like him now.
Too many Diaz's.
Yeah, both of them. All right, number 5. Here come the Broncos.
Yeah, everyone's
Damn,
saying
Broncos
that.
are a team, like you said, they could be 5-0. A couple bad bounces, a couple penalties. They could be a 5-0 team, and we'd be talking about them like Super Bowl
They
favorites.
hadn't trailed in a fourth quarter until they got to Philadelphia and ransacked the champions in the fourth quarter.
Here they come. Number 4. The Patriots are a playoff team. I'm going to say it now, week 6. Patriots are a playoff team.
Billy, you laugh at that? You scoff?
Oh, OLI, AOC.
Number 3.
Are we sending her back?
Yes. Back to Cuba.
Okay.
Which is where all these people are from.
Number 3, Dan, do you know what the D in Dolphin stands for?
Oh, boy.
It's going to be a Spanish word. De pinga.
What's the D in Dolphin? De pinga! Yes, Dan! Attaboy! You're on it today. The D in Dolphin stands for de pinga. You lose to the Panthers, who are terrible. They don't even want to win, and you lose to them. Christ almighty.
With their quarterback calling a timeout he didn't have, how is that not a penalty?
Tiny quarterback at that, Dan.
How is that not a penalty? Greg Cody?
It is a penalty, isn't it?
It wasn't called as a penalty. It was Bryce Young called a timeout he did not have.
Should have been a penalty.
What is that, a song?
The league's
Thank you,
cheating
Greg.
on his behalf.
Should have been a penalty.
Should have been a penalty.
Jeremy Taché is Jewish?
Yeah, Jewish and Cuban.
Oh, double whammy.
Number 2.
Number 2. Did you guys just hear that? Hold on.
Oh,
Do you hear that?
Does that feel good? That's not a
That
punishment.
was Dan Campbell.
How's that?
No, Dan, that was Dan Campbell prying open the Lions Super Bowl window, air suction cup window that he just pried open with a crowbar, Dano. Lions back.
Billy, what, you're making a face at that?
Nah, I'm just, these are great points that Tony's making. Taking forever, but
Number one.
Number one, there's only one place we could go, Dan. Do you want to say it for me?
I'm sorry. I was put off by Billy saying that you were taking forever.
the chance of him getting it right, Tony, this has dragged on forever. I mean, we were talking about this before, like, what's Tony doing? He's like, oh, it's going to be a surprise. I'm like, oh, boy. That
Very
went well
rude to
last
interrupt
time.
the man.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Thank you, Mike. Can you please tell
It's
him
your
again?
list.
We may need to look into that shipping container also and see who else we need to send back.
Say the whole name out loud.
Number one, Dano.
Send back.
Duval.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's coming. Tony's coming. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
4-1. Dan beat the two-time Super Bowl champion Chiefs a couple of years ago on a gutsy Monday night win. Duval.
I'm gonna
boys.
say, do I have this wrong? I am gonna say that this is Tony's proudest football moment since riding with the Jacksonville Jags. We didn't even celebrate it yesterday, since he was lighting candles to San Boselli, which Tony went all in on the Jags. Jags had a comeback that cost Mike Ryan $80,000. We learned yesterday, which was a shocking number to hear. One of the most shocking comebacks in the history of the sport. Jacksonville's finest moment since then is right now, this moment. You are lighting candles again today for Boselli.
Yeah, it's as probably the biggest Jags person on the planet, basically at this point. I'm very excited. I think Jacksonville, they did a lot of stupid things, Dan, if you want me to be really honest. I don't know anybody in the NFL that throws past the line of scrimmage more than enough of you.
You gave up on them after 1 week. You said this is their year. Then they lost week 1, and you gave up on them. And now you're the biggest Jags representative on this planet. Get out of here.
That's again. Enough from you.
Discord.
Nobody throws the ball past the line of scrimmage more than Trevor Lawrence. I don't think he understands where the line of scrimmage is. We need to put one of those VR headsets that shows the line, so you can be like, buddy, do not pass this line and throw the ball. On top of that, delay of games. Why does he have 9 delay of games a game? What is that? And then he falls in the play and then gets up and scores a touchdown. Thank God he did that, because that would have been a bad one to come back to. But the Jags, Dan, 4-1, they're frisky. Who would have thought that AFC South is going to be a bit of a problem in the AFC, huh? Colts, Jaguars.
Duval.
They're doing the thing where they probably walked out on me.
Billy, he's doing 4-1
Yeah,
frisky Jags. He's doing frisky Jags, Billy. Are you going to go?
Are they not frisky?
Yeah, but you gave up on them after week 1. Now you're back.
You don't get it. You don't get it. I wasn't out on them after week 1. They had a disappointing week 1, but now they're stringed off a couple wins in a row, and Jags are a problem. They're frisky. Nobody wants to play the Jags. I'll tell you that right now. Nobody wants to play the Jags.
I feel
Unless
like
they're
you
on the
do.
schedule, then
I
they have to
feel
play
like you do want to play the Jags. You feel like they're going to figure out a way to punch themselves in the face in the fourth quarter. I feel like everyone's going to keep watching all season, expecting Trevor Lawrence to have a three turnover game because he throws 3 laser beams and throws 3 interceptions.
Yeah, their defensive takeaways are not sustainable. They'll finish 9-8.
Seahawks don't want to play the Jags.
Whoa.
Rams might. Raiders definitely don't. Texans after that. Texans are a frisky team too, Tony, huh?
Yeah, they are. Frisky.
All right, friskier. Put it on the poll. Oh, this is a good one. A frisky off. Who's the friskiest? Wait a minute. This is how we're doing it? Frisky? I saw a stat yesterday that the Ravens defense this season has given up more than the Ravens championship season of Ray Lewis the entire season. The entire season, the year that the Ravens won the championship, they gave up 165 points because they had to win all their games 9-6 with Shannon Sharp.
Is this the same place you got the Jake Browning stat?
No,
from?
this is the correct stat. Look it up. I'm
That's
sorry I didn't do it
wild.
with the stat of the day. They've already that's got to be right.
More what? Points or yards?
No, they've given up more points already in 5 games this season than the championship defense of Ray Lewis did the entire season when Trent Dilfer was their quarterback and they needed Shannon Sharp to get 17 yards a game so that they could win 9-6 because their team they won a championship not scoring for 5 weeks.
We're going to check it out. Are you nervous after the David
I'm
Montgomery
pretty confident. Yes, I am nervous after the David Montgomery stat, but I feel like I've got this one right.
It's 5 games. It's so hard to believe.
I believe it, because I think that team you're referring to gave up less than 200 points.
I think the number is 175 or 177 they've already given up this season. And it was like 160-something that season.
It was 165. Dan is right.
Wow! Big bounce back, Danny!
Dolly.
Hello, Dolly. That is it.
Hello, Dolly. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, yeah.
Dolly
is right.
Dolly.
Nick Wright, what are you more than anything? Because I look at you and I think that your proudest source of entertainment is like old-timey radio guy who respects the most performative aspects of whatever audio is, and that would be the thing that you respect most as an entertainer. What is the answer? I'm sorry to introduce you this way, but
Hi.
because I want
Odd first question.
I want
It's
all,
fine. I like
I
it.
want all his Chiefs information here because I'm genuinely curious for football knowledge from him on what happened with Jacksonville when the margins in these games are so small, and whether what he thinks of what happens with the Chiefs. And I'm also interested in what he has to say about LeBron James.
Smoother intro. Yeah. You're
Yeah,
doing great.
all of that. Plus, also, I want the shipping container to know, Dan texts me, I think 2 minutes before your guys' show started. Hey, make sure, Dan, I guess I'm okay to say this, I'm saying it. Make sure you have a question ready for United States Senator Cory Booker. I then respond with, I think, a legitimate response, which is, okay, is he on with me? I have not heard from Dan until this introduction since then. So I stepped in thinking like, did we double? Am I being parachuted in?
No, so the reason I introduced you so clumsily is because I've got Erlene Cody, Greg Cody's wife, is on the line with a hygiene question, and I don't want to waste your time, but I really do want to get to your opinions on some things.
No, that's fine. I'd rather I have a chance to be on this. I'm more nervous about being on with Greg Cody's wife than United States Senator Cory Booker.
Well, she's
Hi,
speaking
Ms.
on
Cody.
behalf-
How are you?
She's speaking on
Go
behalf
ahead.
of Cory Booker
Well,
today.
and Chris Cody has just said her internet is not great,
Yeah, I'm
so
nervous
I'm
about this.
worried about this, the
This
entirety
is-
of
we're
doing
off to
this.
a great start, but I have a lot of answers for you. But let's go to Ms. Cody first, and then I will.
Thank
do
you for
the
taking the
thing.
risk with us. I was going to ask your opinion and assume that
Been
you would
married
have
a
told
while.
us to take that risk. But we've got here's what the conversation is that we're having. Greg Cody was complaining when I came in here today that his wife had gotten him a white Corvette as a birthday gift, and he was complaining about it. He was saying that he had to drive it around for 2 years. He didn't like it as a gift, and I thought it was a great gift, and so that's why we're having his wife on. Greg's now saying he's being misrepresented.
Yes, thank you.
What do you mean?
Erlene, it came up that, I was so appreciative to get a surprise car as a birthday gift, but that white is not my favorite color for a car. That's all. And so hypothetically, I was having a conversation. When somebody gifts you a car, but you don't prefer the color, how do you handle that? That's all.
Well, I think that you should have not left out the facts of it's been 20 years since then, and you've had 4 other Corvettes, including being offered to get a brand new one
Right.
with
None
the new
of them white.
design.
Right.
None of them have been white since
Right.
then. I'm sorry. Those 2 years of a lease was just so painful for you after you got rid of your minivan for that.
The minivan. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you, Arlene. Your husband is forever disappointing. Also, he came in here today without having showered after being in a hockey locker room.
That's true. Thanks, dear.
Welcome to my world.
Real
Yeah,
prize.
okay.
Real prize you got
All right,
there.
goodbye.
Goodbye, Arlene. Sorry, Nick. Sorry I did all of that. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not sorry about it at all. I just recently I got my dad a car for his 75th birthday, 56 Chevy Bel Air.
Nice.
The first car he ever drove.
Oh, that's a wonderful gift. What an emotional, what a
Yeah.
great gift.
What a
What a
great
good
car.
gift giver. What a secret what a secret sentimentalist Nick Wright is.
So again, I don't know if this is a look at me, Louie, or a humble brag. You guys have that sound effect. I don't know. I'm a very good gift giver. I don't know what love languages are and such, but I'm not the best at keeping in touch. I'm not the best at like daily check-ins. In fact, I might be the worst at that, but I try to overcompensate by grand gestures. Now, to answer, I think your initial question, which was what thing in media is most impressive to me, I think was the question, and my answer to that is stand-up comic. Because I think being a great stand-up comic would, at least for the way my brain works, give me a sense of fulfillment more than anything else in media, including or entertainment, including rock star or movie star. Because if you're a movie star, yes, you're the star, but there's so much that goes into the production. Even if you're a rock star, unless you're really like Adele standing alone on stage, and I don't even know enough about Adele, like is there accompaniment with her? It's a whole production. Stand-up comedian in a theater with just a microphone with live real-time reaction to am I doing this well or not, I think would be it's the most impressive to me when people are great at it, and it would be the single coolest feeling. That's my thoughts there. Do you just want me to go straight into the Chiefs, or do you want to ask more questions? What do you want to do?
The thing that I wanted to ask you after that as a sports media performer is what are you proudest of that you do, given that you're actually respecting the craft of how to entertain within this space? So you have, for 10 years, you've ridden this ridiculous LeBron James take that he's better than Michael Jordan, and everyone yells at you, and it's just ridiculous how funny it is. And then yesterday, your boy, now that you're the most public of LeBron supporters, he does a grotesque commercialization.
Oh my God. I'm so glad we're talking about this, because that tweet, you know how, gosh, and I hate to bring him up this quickly. I don't mean to. But you know how your guy Pablo's been saying this story is an IQ test? And about the Kawhi Leonard thing. I truly thought that LeBron's tweet 2 days ago, the decision part 2 or whatever it was an IQ test. And I am shocked at how many people in the media failed it. And here's why. And to give you full disclosure on this. So, I can't just hit up LeBron and ask him a question, but I can hit up Rich. I could hit up Mav. I did neither. And my pod, What's Right with Nick Wright, is every Tuesday around 10:30 a.m. Eastern. The producers asked me, do you think we should push it a bit until after whatever LeBron does, he does? And I said, with no recon and no research, absolutely not. There is no chance that is anything but a commercial. How did I know that? The same reason every single person should have known that. Tuesday at noon. That was the whole thing. Anybody that has been following LeBron James for a quarter century that thought he was going to announce his retirement or retirement tour on a Tuesday at noon is a moron. That was not like, oh, he made us think he was retiring and it's a Hennessy ad. Anybody with a pulse should have known that was going to be an ad. You don't have to be a LeBronologist to know that he's not announcing his retirement on a nondescript Tuesday at noon. So I think everybody I saw a lot of people I like saying, he's selling in, trading in his credibility. Give me a break. Anybody that thought he was announcing his retirement,
you've mentioned that. You've mentioned that.
No, what day and time should we expect it?
Prime time on a Monday, I would imagine. Some pomp and circumstances. If that tweet said Monday 7 p.m., I'd be like, oh, well, look out. Well, hold on. Maybe something's here. But, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I don't think anybody actually thought he was announcing his retirement.
I didn't think. I will tell you this, though, and you're saying this to my face, and I do feel like a fool. I was not doing any of that time stuff. I did think that he was teasing with people's feelings because he does that. Like, it's been a move for 15 years, and it's worked. He is the internet age's athlete, and he's being a troll as a dad at the end. And I do feel like a moron, and you're calling me on it. But I also thought it was also grotesquely commercial.
No, I think obviously the proper way to announce a retirement or to retire in the NBA, if you really want to be the GOAT, is to do it 3 separate times, which makes the first 2 fraudulent retirements. That's the way to do it. The way to do it is to quit the sport multiple times, then come back, then quit again, then come back, then quit again, and then joke about coming back at 45. We all know the blueprint's been laid out on how to properly retire from this league, which is to not actually retire, just to quit and come back a bunch of times, and then have people pretend that anything that happened really post-retirement 2 or during retirement 1 didn't actually count. That's the blueprint. He's going his own way and selling cognac. That's fine with me.
Who is he talking about?
I don't like that my reaction was to recoil there on all of it. That he was playing again with people's feelings 15 years later was a funny reminder, and I do feel like a fool for falling for it again.
Well, I must apologize, Dan. I didn't know, to be honest with you, that one of the people I was calling out was you. I maybe would have softened that. To be
no, I don't.
I
just feel like such a fool, and you're laughing in my face at something. No, but for 15 years, this dude was the economy here, and he's played for the Lakers longer than that. The idea that he's still the story in basketball, even on a football Monday and Tuesday, is pretty funny when you look at a career unlike any other, like a career that has no precedent in the sport. The fact that he's still playing and still playing with our feelings as a top 10 player in the league it's asinine that you get to be controversial for supporting that for 20 years.
Well, yeah, and listen, I'll add to a take, and then we can get to the football stuff, I'm sure. I think LeBron could play at an all-star level. Right now, he's at an all-NBA level. I think he could play at an all-star level for close to till he's close to 50. I see no reason. Like, when he quits, it's going to be because that either his family wants him to, or it's just there's nothing left to do. But we were expecting the age curve 10 years ago, and instead what we have gotten is a slight 1 or 2% a year deterioration to where he goes into this year the 7th best player in the sport. Like, the cliff isn't coming barring a catastrophic injury, and so he'll play as long as he wants to, and he'll probably play with folks' feelings you
guys can't let him do this.
An all-star at 50?
You guys can't let him do this.
Deserving all-star at 50 years old? Come on.
Well, hold on.
I'll buy 50. I'll buy 45. I'll buy 45.
Hold on.
You're buying.
All right.
I can buy 45.
Yeah.
50?
Wait a second.
But he didn't age after 30, so naturally he can play till 50. Duh.
When he left Miami, okay, that first year in Cleveland, when Dan and others were saying, hey, I mean, we've all heard the audio that the best of LeBron is over.
And he quit.
If I had come on this show, what? Hold on. You said that.
I don't think he was wrong. LeBron hasn't been as good as he was.
2018 Bron was pretty good. 2016 Bron with the greatest 3-game stretch in the history of sport was pretty good.
Shout out to
2020 Bron, pretty good. But regardless, if I had come on this show and said 10 years from now, he is going to be top 6 in MVP voting, that would have been more laughable. At age 40 in year 22, gonna be a legitimate MVP candidate. That would have been laughable and ridiculous, but it just happened. No. So my point is because of his IQ, his size, and his body.
Don't let him do this.
There's one guy that can
Philly.
play till 50, and it's Steph Curry because he can just hang out. LeBron, he is so dependent on his athleticism. I understand he's got a brilliant mind, but there's already diminishing returns on there. Like it's only gonna slow down more.
Why can Steph's younger than LeBron, and LeBron's still better than him?
Well, Chael said that thing. If
yes,
we're gonna be honest.
but Steph can just camp out and he can shoot till he's 60.
And LeBron could play late stage post the 30 game
All-Star at 50.
I can't
Nick.
believe he sucked me into this.
Nick,
It's asinine. It's asinine.
Nick,
is it honorary All-Star, like commissioner appointed All-Star, or All-Star based on merit?
No, what I'm saying is that as long as like LeBron is 40, right? No, I'm 40. He's 40. He turns 41 in December.
Hold on, let's make sure we get this exactly right.
No, he and
When's your
Tiger
birthday?
Woods have the same birthday. He and
week.
Tiger Woods are both December 30th, not same year. I just turned 41 a couple days ago. Thank you.
Wow, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
I don't see any reason that LeBron in 5 years would not be just a much, much better version of Jason Kidd on the Mavericks. A great passer who can shoot and knock down spot-up threes and just
You made him an all-star. You didn't make him.
Jason Kidd on the Mavericks was not close to an all-star.
You didn't make him 11 points a game from three because he can get him
I
threes
just
a
said
game.
much better version. I can't believe
At
this
50,
is what we're talking about.
but Nick, at 50,
Yes, same here, dude.
Jason
Same here.
Kidd
You
on
know
the
what?
Mavericks was an
I'm not
all-star.
getting sucked into this.
Thank you.
Let's
Hey,
Yeah.
hold on. Who just said that?
He was an all-star.
In
That
what
would be
year?
me.
Thank
Jeremy.
you. Exactly.
For the Dallas
And I
Mavericks.
just said a much better
voted
version.
in.
Exactly. Know your sports, Dan. Instead of reading Twitter and seeing a Raven stat
He
that
was
you then pass
36
off as
years
your
old
own.
then.
Well,
He was-
know
he-
your stats, buddy.
He was
Give me a
36
break.
then.
14
Yeah,
years younger.
Guys, this is I can't believe we're arguing about this.
Same.
But let's go ahead and argue
So hold on,
about it.
50-year-old LeBron will be 36-year-old Jason Kidd, which is like 93 in 1991.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank
What do you
you.
say?
All right.
I mean,
I'll
you guys
switch gears.
just be like, I disagree.
I disagree. I
fine.
disagree.
That's fine.
Strongly.
So here is the question, because we're not going to get to see it. So the question I would ask you is this, Mike. Will we ever see LeBron play a season in the NBA at a less than, forget all-star, all-NBA caliber?
I don't know if he'll allow that, but
I guess we'll never know who's going to be right about the argument.
Yeah, I think we can assume. Yeah.
What? No, how?
History,
If he were to
science.
quit now, he's already shattered all the history. And you're a tennis guy, Mike. Like, the guys are all... Djokovic
there's
is
a
shattering
difference.
all the history.
There's a difference.
All these...
50. Okay.
Again,
what was
and
your
there
take on
a difference
Jonathan
at
Gannon?
40.
What was your take on Jonathan Gannon?
I should have credited that Raven stat. I'm ashamed.
Yeah, you should be.
I'm ashamed.
You should.
Yeah.
You're covered in a lot of shame today, Dan,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest.
Hey, Nick.
I can't believe we're arguing about LeBron.
Nick, was the 56 Bel Air gifted to your dad a white car?
No, it was like the seafoam green with a white swoosh on it.
Okay.
Where are we on this?
There you
It's
go.
a proper color.
Thank you.
Do you have to eat it if your wife gives you a gift that you didn't want to be white for 2 years? Is that what we're arguing?
Why don't you just have it? Why didn't you just, Cody? It sounds like this is back when newspaper salaries were real fat and happy.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just have it painted, bro?
You know what? I didn't think of it. It never occurred
I mean,
to me.
I think that's the answer.
I think that would have
it's just
insulted
have
my
it
wife.
painted.
That would have insulted my
That
wife.
would have been good to ask her when she was on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she didn't have great internet. Jonathan
She's in a car.
Gannon, you
traveling
can't
100
punch
miles
your
an hour.
players. Like the rule in life is very simple. You're not allowed to. Well, this isn't the only rule, but one of the rules is you can't hit people that can't hit you back. And so that's like I didn't love that. I didn't love him hitting the guy.
Yeah, but what does this
Like-
mean? Bad optics. I didn't love it. $100,000. What's right here, Nick? Right? Like what?
I think I think what they did. I mean, I don't think you fire him. And I'm not interested at all in another workplace. It's not another workplace, bro. It's the NFL, and there is a level of violence associated with the game that I understand how it can spill over in those regards on the sidelines. But that was too much. And so, I think $100,000 is a real amount of money. I think the shame of it, and I think that the real punishment is, how do his players respond, and does he have to kind of win them back over? That's, that to me is, I don't know, do you think I'm being too lenient there?
Oh, I just think that locker room dynamics, it's a fascinating case study here to just really dissect in that locker room what's happening when a coach puts his hand on a player and all those players know in that room, hey, Dad, you know how much he cares. We watch him every day. He either cares this amount or he doesn't. But you putting your hands on him in front of everybody when we just saw the most epic collapse in the sports you'll ever see. They play that game 1,000 times, Nick. They play that game 1,000 times. The Titans don't cover 1,000 times. Never mind win the game. They don't cover 1,000 times. He threw away a football game and his coach hit him.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't think you fire the guy. I don't think that I think that here is my, I guess, bigger Jonathan Gannon takeaway. I am less, I shouldn't say less bothered, but if I were a Cardinals fan and not, a member of DeMercado's family or friends, but I root for the Cardinals, I am more long-term concerned about, coach probably in a touch over his head, huh? Anybody that loses their S like that, it usually means the job's a touch too big for them. And
I thought that person 2 weeks ago was the most stoic coach on any sideline.
Really?
Yes, I didn't think he was an emotional. I thought that he was. I've got this wrong.
I mean, defensive guys are usually a little bit more intense. There were videos when he was in Philadelphia of screaming at people in their car. Good energy, not move your freaking car, more let's effing go. But yeah,
to me, I put this in the same bucket, except he wasn't the head coach at the time, and everyone got so mad at me for this take. But as is often the case, it aged perfectly, much like LeBron. Do you remember when the offensive coordinator for the Bills, I think he's a Miami guy, right? Was it Dorsey?
Ken Dorsey.
Ken Dorsey
throwing all the papers all over the room, the computer.
When he flipped out, in that moment, I was like, okay, that guy's, the job's too big for him. Sorry, job's too big for him. And the Bills kind of took off once they separated from him. The job was too big for him. And I think that I don't think those are unfair snap judgments on these things.
Can you guys get me that video, please? Because it's an interesting thing. Someone who cannot control themselves. Ken Dorsey was viewed as a player as a stoic, and then all of a sudden he's your offensive coordinator and he's in charge of Josh Allen, and it's too much?
Yeah, that's what I think. The pressure of the moment. I really, and this gets me in trouble with a lot of, hell, the last time I came on here, the Lamar conversation, and all of a sudden I've got folks like PFF Moo in my mentions being like, actually, here's how football works, buddy. And I'm like, okay, thanks. I'm a big believer in pressure revealing, a lot about high achievers or athletes or people in big time jobs. And And I think that there are certain people that are great in the interview, great on the whiteboard, great in all these circumstances, and then as the pressure ratchets up, they can't keep their cool. Like, again, this is going to be corny, and Mike will probably make fun of me, but because it's a fictional movie, but the DiCaprio line in The Departed, where he's like, my hand doesn't shake. Like, I believe that. I believe in that. That there are certain people who, I knew Mike was going to make fun of me.
No, I'm not making fun of you. That is a life motto.
My hand.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I quote that all the time.
Does not shake.
Yeah, like I'm a big believer in that. So to me, for Ganon, that's the bigger thing. Is because here's the other piece of it. He did not know when the kid fumbled the ball that they were going to then have a cartoonish collapse. He knew that the game could have been over and now they have to keep fighting, but it was not as if they were down 4 as the clock is ticking to 0 and the kid fumbles and now we were going to win, we lose. There was a lot of fighting left to do, and that to me precipitated the full-on collapse.
I want to ask you before we go about Kansas City and Jacksonville, but one last note, just to be clear. Ken Dorsey was strong enough to be the guy whose hand doesn't shake. I got the game wrong just yesterday. I said his first game was at Washington, and he wet himself, and he said he was wetting himself running on the field. It wasn't Washington. It was Virginia Tech. But he was playing high-stakes football, and Ken Dorsey is at the center of Miami taking college football back from FSU because his hand didn't shake. Because late in that game, he could throw the ball to Jeremy Shockey, and they could overtake FSU. Where do the levels of pressure this rise that Ken Dorsey's hand doesn't shake enough to win a national championship when he's got Willis McGahee and Clinton Portis and those people behind him and Frank Gore?
Oh, it's that the job changed. I think normally it's whether, I think he maybe was a full-on confident, guy in the role he had there, quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes football team, and then not as confident in the role of offensive coordinator for NFL team with championship aspirations. I think there are plenty of people who, I'm going to mix metaphors here a bit, but can do billion-dollar business negotiations and never blink and feel totally confident. But if they sat down in a poker game for $5,000, would be a nervous wreck, because in one setting they feel in their element, comfortable. It's what they've trained their whole life for, and in another setting they feel over their skis a bit. Now some guys, I assume, are just nervous Nellies. I don't know why I said that. Under all circumstances,
I just thought that video was that game where Josh Allen threw his arm out on 4th and short. He had one more pass to his running back in the flat, and they ran out of gas, and the heat in Miami because Josh Allen just threw his arm out 6 yards at a time.
I think the point that Nick is trying to make is there are plenty of great coordinators that make for bad head coaches. Nick's a fan of a team that has one of those examples on the defensive side of the ball. Yep. Every offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator at one time was considered a great position coach. The way that Ken Dorsey was, he was behind getting Cam Newton to MVP levels and helping get Josh Allen to that next tier. But the job was too big for him when he got to OC.
We said this of Belichick once upon a time, that he was only a coordinator. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I understand how we can do the revisionist history on Ken Dorsey now because he flipped out in a moment and didn't improve Josh Allen.
There are guys that are good at their jobs that are bad leaders. This happens in every possible workplace in America. There are guys that are great workers that maybe shouldn't be, that aren't necessarily management material.
Yeah, I mean, when Ken Dorsey's at the University of Miami, his hand doesn't shake partly because he has a couple of future NFL running backs behind him. That was a loaded team, including on defense.
It also, that to me, I don't mean to interrupt you, Greg. Yeah. I apologize. It might be that, but it also might be that he felt that, no, I'm that dude. I'm a great quarterback. And maybe some people, maybe you feel more comfortable when it's I'm the one in charge of all the decisions. And you feel a little helpless when it's all I can do is call the play, you have to execute it. I don't know the man, and I don't know, the full story of his evolution as a player and a coach. What I know is, like, my snap judgment of that scene you guys showed was, this job's too big for him right now. Maybe it won't be down the road, but in this moment, the inability to keep your cool, to me, is very instructive. Like, I value that. I really value folks who in crisis can be the steady hand. And I think in sports, that is super, super important. And that's the Ganon thing that would, if I were a Cardinal fan, bother me almost as much, if not more, long term than the fact that he hit the player.
He's got 2 great shows he's doing. The podcast, What's Right with Nick Wright, is not daily, but it is, 3-4 times a week with some emergencies
at
based
least
on the
3,
news?
and then sometimes we add another one, yeah.
And you should support it because it's fun, and he does it with his son. And a lot of people know that First Things First is hugely popular now and one of the great things in sports television because he's at the center of it. Can you, before you get out of here, give me as many thoughts as you can on just Jacksonville and Kansas City?
Yeah,
because I think Trevor Lawrence will absolutely blow that game in the playoffs with 4 turnovers, and Jacksonville can't actually turn the ball over at the rate that they're doing. But you got the offense that you think is back, correct?
Okay, so a number of things. Yes, of course, Trevor Lawrence, my guy who I love, and it was kind of sad for me that this moment I couldn't really enjoy, even though I've supported him for 5 years because it came to the expense of my team. And I understand the healthy skepticism of Trevor Lawrence, particularly come postseason. He has not at all earned the benefit of the doubt like the great Justin Herbert, who once upon a time played Trevor Lawrence in a playoff game and blew a 27-point lead. Like, we get it. We understand. Certain guys have earned the benefit of the doubt. Trevor Lawrence isn't one of them. The guy who he beat in a playoff game, of course, is one of them for reasons. I don't know. Going to be hard to blame the coach this year in Los Angeles, but I'm sure we'll find a way. Now, to the Chiefs. This is where I'm fair. Sometimes, this is so weird because I now find myself a little bit on the other side because a lot of these numbers that I railed against last year when people were like, the Chiefs are the worst 5-0 team ever, and they made me mad. Those now same numbers are like, the Chiefs, one of the best 2-3 teams ever. I still don't like them. Winning football games is a skill, and the Chiefs, while yes, the offense looks awesome again and will only look better with Rice, that didn't really make me feel better because I knew the offense would look awesome because Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback and he has a competent offensive line this year and the receiving core is getting better. Losing that game the way they did is so un-Chiefs-like. It's the first time in 5 years they've lost a game they won the turnover battle. They had a 14-point lead and they blew it. They never do that. The penalties and the special teams errors cost them the game. I hated that loss. That was the most frustrating regular season loss this team has had in, honestly, for me, in at least 3 years. And so, yes, I feel good about the fact that the offense is going to be great. But I always believed the offense could be great. They need to trade for a running back. Again, I mentioned Achane to you guys before. Maybe Breece Hall, maybe Kamara. I don't know if they will. And they have to figure out a way to get pressure without having to send these huge blitzes. With all that said, it is a very unique situation when for years it has been the AFC is the varsity and the NFC is the junior varsity when it comes to quarterbacks you got to go through. This postseason is going to come around, Dan, and Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are going to look around the AFC playoff field and see Bo Nix and 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers and Drake May and Daniel Jones. And in the NFC, it's going to be playoff stud Baker Mayfield, champion Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl starter Jared Goff, conference championship starter Jaden Daniels, whomever else I'm forgetting or leaving out. And so the Chiefs need to win football games. But the offense is going to be good. I think they're going to beat Detroit. They can't shoot themselves in the foot. But that's a bad loss. And I'm not going to make excuses and act like it wasn't. That's a bad loss that they shouldn't have had.
Think I'm going to beat Detroit. Got to go on that note. You think a lot of people think that right now? You think that
They're
lot
2.5-point favorites, Dan. They're at home. They have the best player in the league. Right now, Dano. How about this? Just Chiefs Lions straight up. Set the amount. I can do it in a little arbitrage with your friends at DraftKings. I'll bet it on the other side plus the 2.5. Look for a little juicy middle.
All right, let's
what
do
you
it.
Do?
Let's do it right now. Tell me what the stakes are on this. Make the bet right now. Let's do it. Let's team up right here. We're going to tell me how I have to do that so that I can make the stakes something that's worth it to you. I believe that Detroit is going to beat Kansas City.
I have an idea. Host swap.
Yeah. Huh?
That's right. If Dan loses, he's got to join your show for a full recording if you want that.
From
maybe,
your house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, maybe from your house. Either one of your two shows. What's right or what you got going on? Speak for yourself. I literally mean speak for yourself because I don't know the name.
First things first. It's called, yeah.
What
Speak
you
for
got
yourself
going
is a different
on?
show.
Speak for yourself.
No, I told
is
him
what
to-
you just called Nick
Speak
Wright
for
show?
yourself was literally a different show on the network.
No,
Then
I told
it became Speak.
No, I told you to speak for yourself because I forgot the name of the show.
I thought we were just doing cash money.
I say
But
5K.
we're doing like
Tell me what
yeah,
it should be.
or you fly down here and you host one of the Dan Le
But
Batard
let-
shows with
they're
Stugotz.
all putting up 5, so 5
5K.
grand.
5K.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Really?
Yes.
I get
$5,000.
the Chiefs even. It just went straight winner.
Yes.
Chiefs Lions.
Yes. I'll give
right,
you
done.
the points.
No,
Dan, you're
Oh,
terrible
why
at
would
this.
you're such a bad negotiator.
All right. What's going on?
I don't get points. They're the favorites. We're just doing straight winners.
Straight winners, 5K.
Yes.
All right. It's done.
You want to
Deal.
throw in a white Corvette?
Good luck on cold pizza.